Great.
Of course we do. Welcome to the Soscast. This is where finance meets romance. Episode 68. I feel like we should just call it episode 69 because Jennelle's here. What the hell is happening?
69,
How do we not
everyone.
work it that way? Only here on Valuetainment, the #1 channel on the freaking planet for entrepreneurs. And if you don't know, now you know. My name is Adam Sosnick. My friends call me Sos. You could call me Sos. All good. And Nat, we're here for one freaking reason. To help you entrepreneurs out there improve your status in life.
Yes.
Okay? Your financial status, your relationship status. Just win overall. What do we want to do, Nat? So you get paid, laid, and do it your way. Who wants more than that in life? So, you know, it's crazy. If you check your calendar right now, Veterans Day is tomorrow.
Mañana.
Okay? So I've got my boys here from Adulting Shouldn't Suck. Okay? We had a podcast that was scheduled for Veterans Day because these guys are veterans. Jennelle was supposed to be here on Thursday. These guys were supposed to be here Friday. Jennelle, who is the hottest veteran I've ever fucking seen. We can get into that today. And I said, let's get the boys from Adulting Shouldn't Suck and Jennelle, and let's do a veterans
threesome.
money threesome sexy podcast. And that's basically where we're at today. So we're going to be talking about what it means to be a man, what it means to be a woman, intersexual dynamics, how money factors into all this stuff, how status of a man, woman, all that kind of stuff factors in. And obviously a little bit of that money. So before we get into your guys' story, Nat, I think we're at what right now?
We are at 96,000 subscribers.
Okay, so we're 4,000 away from
Right up
100,000.
there, right there.
We need to do some sort of giveaway.
I think so.
For the when we hit 100,000, what should we give away? What would be good?
A dildo. A
A
crystal
dildo
dildo from my
send
store.
Jennelle?
From my store. I have
Wow.
crystal dildos. I'll donate one to
Okay,
you.
well, I don't know if our guy audience wants a
want
dildo.
to
Well, for their
use it.
girls.
Pocket pussy?
No, but for their girls.
I don't know if the guys
I don't know
want
if
that,
guys
Jennelle.
want that for
Okay.
Let's think of something. Maybe
All
we'll
right.
give away $1,000.
Oh,
Okay.
I like that.
Let's
'cause,
give
you
away
know,
$1,000
Save
bucks.
that money.
Okay, how about this? For our 100,000th subscriber, you get to pick. Do you want $1,000
Or the crystal
or use
dildo.
Jennelle dildo? I would take the dildo.
I know you would.
I don't need the money like that. With that being said, let's introduce our panel today. And what I would like to do when I introduce you guys, I want you to say three things. Real quick, your story, your relationship status, and then how you make your money. Okay? So, Jennelle, usually I always have ladies first, but I'm going to save the best for last right here. So we have Alex and Philip right here. Former, what was it? National Guard.
Yep. Actually,
Current-
still in.
Still in the National Guard. You're about 20 years in, 19, 20 years right now.
Damn.
And you're what?
16 and some change.
Step your game up, bro.
Oh,
I mean,
man, I know.
Holy
Jeez,
moly.
man.
I'm telling you.
And basically, give us your story. Go ahead.
You go ahead.
Rock, paper,
start, man.
scissors to see who goes.
Rock, paper, scissors, shoot.
You got
All
it.
right, go ahead.
All right,
Philip in the
so-
house.
Yeah, my name's Philip, single. All right. I make my money through the military and our YouTube. And what was the third question?
Yeah, let's hear your story, brother. What's going on here?
Story. All right. So it really kind of goes all the way back. I joined the military at 17 and didn't really have a lot of plans after high school. I wanted to go into the NFL, play sports, do all that cool stuff. But I was going to be a dad. So there was no support or anything from the colleges that I had some scholarships to help me be a parent and an athlete at the same time. That same day, a recruiter came into my school. And he was like, join the military and we'll provide you health insurance and we'll provide you with a steady income and a bonus and all this stuff that seemed really appealing to me. So I was like, sign me up. And that was at 17 and 33 now and I'm still doing it.
Gotcha. So you're single now.
Single, correct.
You make your money in the military,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
Being in the military. And you have a kid?
Yeah, I have two sons.
Two sons.
Yep.
What are their ages?
I have a 15-year-old and a almost 7-year-old at the end of this month.
Wow. And how old
Yeah.
were you when you had your first kid?
18.
Wow.
Oh,
dude.
bless
Yeah.
your heart,
Oh,
man.
we're going to have a whole conversation about that
Word.
today. Couldn't have timed that out any better. Anyway, Philip, so Alex, go ahead, bro. Give us all your background, how you make your money, and your relationship status as well.
So I've been married for 13 years.
Oh.
And yeah, it goes by quick. But been in the military, like I said, almost 20 years.
Yeah.
And make my money from military, YouTube, some online courses that we sell. And actually, I joined the military when I was 17 as well. I wanted to drive tanks. So growing up, I idolized Arnold Schwarzenegger, and he drove tanks for the Austrian military. And I was like, oh man, I want to do something cool like that. I want to blow stuff up. And so I joined to drive tanks, and I really, really enjoyed driving tanks, and it was fun. And then I pivoted, and actually I met Philip at my 10-year mark. Went full time with the National Guard. And we recruited together for almost a decade, and so that's actually how we know each other.
Got it.
And it's been a lot of fun. So I've got 2 kids myself.
Ages?
10 and 12, 2 girls.
12. Gotcha. And you said you're 15 and 7?
Yep.
And you're 10 and 12.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Got it.
2 boys, 2 girls.
And you guys known each other how long?
About 10 years now.
Yeah, almost 10 years, yeah.
Okay. And just so we're all clear here, as far as like, because we're going to get into a whole conversation about masculinity, feminism, being an alpha male, all that stuff. I'm 6 foot, 200 pounds. I was a football player in high school, in college. I also played college basketball. I'm an athlete. The point is this. I'm a fairly big dude. These guys are big. I don't know if you understand this on camera. How big are you, bro? You're a big dude.
I'm 6 foot 250.
6 foot 2. You're a fucking linebacker.
Yeah, it's huge. It's huge.
And Philip, how big are you?
I mean, I'm 5'11" and like 240.
Okay, these are big dudes. Is all I'm saying right now. Okay, so don't get it twisted. We're talking masculinity, what it means to be an alpha male, military. We'll discuss that. Anyway, shifting gears here, saving the best for last. The lady in red. You kind of remind me of the Game of Thrones, the hot
I'll take
witch chick, whatever. You know, she like lived forever.
That's
if you go
me.
Game of Thrones,
Got you.
the lady in red, you'll see what I'm talking about.
Oh, yeah, I know who you're talking about.
Okay, but
Yeah.
Jennelle, sexpert,
Yes.
also former military.
Yes.
You've been on the show before. You've been on, you've been in the red pill community. People know who you are.
Red pill,
If
red.
you haven't seen what she talks about, yes, there she is right there.
Okay.
But
I'll
there's a
take
red
it.
dress that she rocks.
That
yeah.
one. I mean, this one.
It's a sexy thing, is all I'm saying.
It's a tot.
It's a sexy
Okay.
thing. But you're also military.
Yes.
Okay, so let's hear your story, your relationship status,
Okay.
and how you're making your money, baby girl.
Okay. All right. Thanks for. Wow. You and I have something going on.
Yeah, if you didn't show up with 12 dudes each time, I would maybe try to, holler, but I'm not trying to get roughed up.
Wow.
But go ahead.
Okay. All right. So, my relationship status, my heart still belongs to Shiva. We'll talk more about that later.
Mm-hmm.
But how I make my money. Should I talk about military first or money
Yeah,
first?
military.
Military first. Okay, so I was 95 Bravo. I was just informed that it is no longer that, so they call it something else these days. But basically, I was in like a rough spot in life. I kind of had a not pleasant childhood, and I needed to go into something. And I'm actually very fucking smart. I got accepted into the Air Force. Air Force is the cupcake of military. Sorry, guys, it's true. It's the beta militaries.
Really, our boy Vinny is going to have a major problem with
Yeah.
that. Cut that short little clip
Sorry,
up.
sorry.
Love you, Benny.
It's the betas of the military.
military,
I
correct.
thought it was the Navy.
No, well, Air Force, I think Air Force, it's pretty easy. Like, you don't need to do much to get in. You just have to be smart. You have to
Got
be
it.
really smart. So I got in, but there was no jobs available, and I needed some place to go. So my brother-in-law at the time was hardcore military. He's like, let's just go in the Army. And so I joined because I wanted to travel. And they were like, you could get, stationed in Europe. So I wanted that in a boob job. So I signed.
Fair
Just
enough.
being honest.
Fair enough.
Listen, if there's anything that you're going to get from Jennelle today, you're going to get brutal honesty.
Love it.
Hide your kids, hide your grandkids. You're about to hear some shit
Yeah,
today.
I'm just honest.
All right.
So what it was is, unfortunately, I had passed the MEPS for the Air Force, which is a lot less invasive. And I have a spine condition, that wasn't conducive to the rucks in the military. So I did get, honorably discharged and all that stuff. So yeah, I didn't make it. But had I made it in the military, I wouldn't be the sexpert that I am today. And that would be a sad day for everyone. So how I make my money, super simple. Obviously, I save people's relationships. So I help people to really help them solve their challenges that they're experiencing in regards to sex, intimacy, and relationships. So for men, it's typically ED, PE, can't last long enough, all these types of things. For women, it's typically sexual trauma and shame. And I help people save their marriages so that they can have that polarity that gives guys blowjobs every day and women screaming orgasms and everyone's fucking happy. And that's what I do.
Well, I love that. We're here to help. So you guys are here to help. Mostly, I assume men for the most part, military type guys, or just young people get better with their finances. You're here to help people in the bedroom.
Yeah.
Right? And I'm doing a little bit of both.
That's right.
So it's like the best of both worlds. So
Trifecta.
listen, we're going to get to the first topic before we do this, because there's going to be some things we agree with, disagree with, all that. I'd like to give a little cheers for you guys to be here. It's Veterans Day tomorrow. So if you're a veteran out there, shout out to you. Thank you for your service. Thank you for everything. For our amazing country, United States of America. America. Best country on earth. I don't care what you mother say. With that being said, let's start the show. Okay. So these days, the concept of being the man, everybody wants to be the man, right? Like, but what does it mean to be the man? Like, you hear a lot of terms like alpha man, or he's a beta, or he's top G, right? Or he's a pimp, or he's a player, or he's a nerd, or he's an incel. All these terms are kind of out there. But what you actually don't know is there actually is a full-on ranking scale that ranks men and where they are in the socio-sexual hierarchy is what it's called. The socio-sexual hierarchy. So in order, the top of the list is the alpha, right? And then below that is the sigma. Then you have the beta. Then you have the delta, the gamma, and the bottom of the list, gentlemen, you don't want to be here, is the gamma, okay? So everyone kind of thinks that it's alpha or beta. It's not a binary situation. There's 6 different levels to this hierarchy. Ooh. So we're about to find out which one you are today. So let's get into it. So if you could pull up this list, this socio-sexual hierarchy ranks, right? Again, you have the alpha, the sigma, the beta, the delta, the gamma, and then the omega. So there's different colors here, Nat. They're kind of hard to read. So what we're going to do right now is we're going to kind of go one by one. As we're saying this, whatever thought comes to your head, go ahead and say it. This is just sort of free for all. And then we're going to ask some questions at the end. So at the top of the list is the alpha. The alphas are confident, they're dominant, they're charismatic, and they're natural leaders. Wink, wink over here, ladies.
Why aren't you on there?
There should be a picture of me at this motherfucking point. So they're highly attractive to women, and alphas are extroverts and highly successful in their careers. They thrive on challenges. I'm just going to throw myself a bone here. I'm just going to go ahead and call myself an alpha.
Oh,
just for the record here, gentlemen, okay? What, Nat? You got a problem with that?
No,
Say something.
I love it.
Say something.
I love it.
So below the alpha, this is like the quiet alpha. It's called the sigma, all right? So this is sort of the introvert. By the way, who comes to mind when you think of alpha? Like, I'm thinking The Rock.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
The Rock.
Andrew Tate. Okay.
Come on.
Who else?
Let me think. Andrew Tate. That's all I can think
Throw
about.
Throw some names out there,
doesn't
guys.
go much.
Badass dudes right there, right?
PBD.
PBD.
Oh,
PBD is
PBD,
definitely
1,000%.
100%.
It doesn't always
Okay.
have to be like.
All right. So
Yeah.
we have some examples of what that is right there. And then you have the sigma.
My favorite.
Your favorite. Nat's looking for a sigma. For the guys that are in love with Nat, that are sliding in the DMs, she's looking for this type of guy. And this is basically the introverted version of the alpha, right? So they talked about being an extrovert, sort of being loud and charismatic. That's the alpha.
This is Shiva in the green room, I would say.
Really?
Yeah.
The tall,
Sigma?
good-looking gentleman.
Yeah.
The Sigma?
I don't
Is
mean
his
that.
real name Shiva?
No, his name's
Okay, that's
Joel.
what you call him.
He's Shiva to me.
What's hotter, Shiva or Joel?
He's God.
I get it, Joel.
He's God.
Good-looking dude.
He's
Just
God to
Shiva.
me. So.
So the introverted alpha, so sigmas are confident lone wolves who do not seek social attention. They are immensely confident and highly attractive to women as they are mysterious and charismatic.
Yeah.
So like who would that be? Who's like silent but deadly type?
Like Keanu Reeves, kind of.
Keanu Reeves?
That was
Oh,
a
yeah.
good
That'd
one.
be a good
That was a
one.
good
Very
one.
Yeah.
Maybe like a
Johnny
Johnny
Depp.
Exactly.
Hey, you and I.
We're right there.
Adam.
Johnny Depp. Who else comes to mind?
Let's think.
Yeah.
But there is a difference
There's
between
a
a rock
difference.
and a Johnny Depp type of character,
Yeah.
right?
Correct.
Yeah.
Okay. And Nat, like if this is your type, what type of guy would this be in your world?
What do you mean?
You said you're into Sigma, so you must have a
Yeah.
type. So what type of guy? Who comes to mind for you?
I can't say him.
I don't need Joel's name. Just
no.
fucking.
I mean, the guys that I'm into, I like
But
very
like
confident
celebrity.
men. Oh,
Yeah.
like celebrity wise.
Yeah.
Give us someone. Give us some juice.
Celebrity wise, I'm not really a big celebrity lover to like pick a guy, honestly, that fits that category. It's more like who I like encounter. I have people
Okay.
that I encounter, but I'm not gonna say their name.
Okay.
No, don't. You don't have to say their name. I never.
Yeah,
say,
yeah,
I tell
yeah.
stories all day long about people I know. I never say their name.
I say names.
Yeah, I know.
Yes,
Janelle
we
will
love
throw
you, Jennelle, for
Janelle
that.
will throw you under the bus real quick out there. So, but just, I'm not going to let you off the hook here. What type of guy would this be?
What type of guy would this be? I would say the gentleman who played Superman. I don't know his name.
Henry Cavill.
Henry. Yeah, he's like
Okay.
super handsome, super manly, but he's kind of like
He's
shy.
nerdy and stuff too.
Yeah,
He's
I
got
like-
this-
What was that
Yeah.
little shy thing you did right there?
That was kind of
shy.
cute.
I don't know about
Shy.
that. So more the Clark Kent type than the Superman type.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, that's cool. Sigma, gotcha. Working our way down. So people always say, "Oh, is it an alpha or a beta? Is it alpha or a beta?" It's like, Beta is actually third on the list. It's not bad to be a beta, apparently. So they're the followers of the alpha. Betas play safe and avoid risk. So they're not as loud and charismatic, and they're not as risk-taking type people. They lack self-esteem and confidence, and betas worship women and blindly obey orders. They're reserved and idealistic. There's some good parts to being a beta, I would say,
good
but
parts.
that doesn't seem great.
What are the good parts?
What's that?
What are the good parts?
I don't know. At least they're following the alpha.
They
know
play
who
it
the-
safe, so that can be like.
But that doesn't really get you
avoid.
much in life if you play it safe, especially financially. You're
Correct,
fucked.
but it's more
So-
of a guarantee.
It's more
you could
for
say.
women who want certainty as one of their main
Correct.
values. They can
Yeah.
go with a beta because they're
Right.
I guess the reason that I'm looking at that because it's third on the list out of 6, so
like,
it's at least you're halfway through, and it's also in green, and I like kind of like the color of green.
that
So,
money.
all you betas out there,
We still like you.
You're okay with me. Just follow the alpha dog.
yeah.
Betas are all the guys on my comment section.
Really? Why is
DMs.
that?
There's like paragraphs. You are the epitome of God's gift to women. Blah blah blah. All these things, and they do it like religiously every day.
Yeah. Well,
like it.
what's funny is like I've heard multiple people say this, so I'm not going to give like a certain credit to somebody, but whoever said it might have been Rolo, might have been AMS, I don't know. But I fully agree. If you treat a woman like she's a celebrity, oh, you're so hot, you're so gorgeous, she's going to treat you like a fan.
That's
Oh,
true.
Straight up.
yes.
1,000%.
Okay.
So true.
But if you are able to have a woman treat you like a celebrity, right? You can kind of treat her as a fan. Now, the difference between a man treating a woman as a fan, like you can have your like the leader of your fan club. That's your main boo,
That's correct.
right?
Yeah.
She's fan clubbing you. You're number one, but I got other fans out there, baby.
That's correct. I'm not interested in any guy who treats me like nice, like and is like, oh, you're the most the God's gift. I don't talk to them. The ones that like. Even Joel in the dressing room, he doesn't.
Yeah.
I have to tell him. I asked him like, "Hey, which dress should I wear today?" He's like, "I don't know."
Yeah.
You know, the guys that don't pay you attention and that just don't treat you like you're a goddess, you're more into them
Why is that?
because
What is it about that?
It's
Because
like
attractive women get compliments all day long. And the one guy who's like, yeah, I don't need the pussy, baby. I'm good.
That's right.
You're like, well, I want to give it to you.
it makes you crazy, and you're literally like, "What can I do to give this pussy to you?"
Well, I'll tell you. If you do this. Anyway, we're going to have that conversation.
All right,
tailing
all right.
this.
Is it hot in here? Can we turn some air?
I don't know. I think it's just you now. All right. Then you have the delta. This is where you kind of go from like, I guess, A, B, C. Now you're getting to D, literally, as far as grades in school.
Yikes.
Delta is the average normal guy. They're hard workers who lack drive and ambition and struggle with attracting women. They are society's worker drones and don't believe in self-improvement. Guys, if this is you, but we'll do this at the end. At the very least, you don't have to be good with women. You don't have to be good with money. You don't have to have any of these qualities. But if you lack the need to even want to self-improve, if you're just like, I'm good as is, I don't need to improve, bro, look in the mirror. I mean, can we
Yeah.
talk about this? Like,
Oh, absolutely. We can talk about this stuff
For
for
days.
sure.
We were
Yeah.
just talking about this on the way here. Like a friend of the guys in the room is in that situation. He's like, they're both very successful,
Yeah.
25, 26, $250,000, millions of followers on Insta, killing it, right? And their friend is he's just like, their high school friend that they all three are really close. He has no drive.
Yeah.
And we were just talking about, they were trying to help him, but he's just like, he doesn't want it. He's happy where he is.
it's the you can bring a horse to water, but you can't make him drink analogy.
Correct.
Right.
It's like you can tell a guy till you're blue in the fucking face, like, work out, save your money, get better,
Get
talk to
better.
women. But if they don't want to do it, nothing you can tell them.
Yep.
You know this.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's insane. So that's the delta. Now we're kind of getting to the D- and F range of men out there. You got the gamma. They're unattractive. Just, not so good looking in the face, as they would say in the mafia. He's not so good looking. They're bitter and they're introspective. They're confused with the hierarchy and they fail to follow social rules. Unsuccessful in attracting women and tend to be obsessive lovers, stalkers, and narcissists. These are the fucking killers of society.
Jeffrey Dahmers.
The Jeffrey Dahmers of the
Jeffrey
world.
Dahmers.
Okay, they're like, why won't women look at me? Why, the why, it isn't fair, victim mentality, and I'm going to show you guys.
That's
School
right.
shooters.
That's
Okay,
correct.
and that's not even the bottom of the list.
Yikes.
Jeez, man.
Yikes.
Jeez, it
Right?
gets worse.
Wait, it gets worse.
But wait, there's more.
Shout out to Onyx. All right, and then you have the Omega. They are the polar opposites of the alphas. they are social outcasts, right? They are mostly nerds. They are needy. They are clingy, and they are avoided by everyone. Being undesirable and damaged, these social rejects fail to attract women. Social rejects.
Wow, that's heavy.
That's hard.
Yeah.
That's a
These are
hard
the
one.
incels.
Yeah.
These are people that are so just like unwilling to do anything with their life. They're not even motivated to be the I don't even want to say school, whatever, you know what I'm talking about. They're not even leaving their house because I don't want to go down that path. The Omega. Have you ever run into these Omega types? We're all thinking like who the nerdiest kid, like everyone watching right now, who was the nerdiest, geekiest, weirdest kid in your school? Like you have somebody in mind.
Well, it's not just nerdy. It's also clingy, and they avoid, and they're undesirable. So don't knock on our
Undesirable.
nerds.
These words are really intense, but
Yeah.
it's true, right?
Like
Yeah.
clingy, nerdy,
undesirable,
avoid
damaged.
everyone.
Yeah.
So it's
Yeah,
like, who
here's
do you
I guess
think
the
of?
good news.
Here's the good.
Going back to the Delta and the last word, self-improvement, you can go from the bottom third to the middle third to the top third.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Like some people just have it in them. You know, you're born an alpha. That's it. But some people you need to self-improve.
Someone
Absolutely.
said Bill
Right?
Gates.
What's that?
Someone in the chat said Bill
Bill
Gates.
Gates.
No, Bill Gates.
Yeah.
No,
I
he-
wouldn't give him that
He's
low.
like Sigma. But
Where would you
I'd
put
say
Bill
he's
Gates?
Sigma.
Adam, where would you put Bill Gates?
If you're just judging him by the picture.
Yeah?
Oh,
Yeah, like just nerd as it nerd gets.
Okay.
But you can't judge.
Can't judge him.
So where
know-
would you put him?
I'm telling you, it's not the size of the dog in the fight. It's the size of the fight in the dog.
Yes.
Bill Gates is clearly a genius, and he's not. There's a lot of geniuses who are just like librarians or professors or nerds that don't build businesses. To build a business and become a billionaire, you got to have some alpha in you or some sigma in you,
Sigma
right?
Alpha.
Sigma.
Yeah, I think Sigma, but Alpha traits absolutely to
Yeah.
build a billionaire business. Yeah, but as far as being more introverted, I'd say that's the Sigma part of him.
Yeah.
So, boys, you were in the military 20 years almost, 15 years,
16. but
16
yeah.
years almost. When guys get into the military, most guys, this is like a general question. Where do most guys start on this list, and then where do they end up on this list?
Oh man. I mean, well, we can talk about this all day because we've been in the military for so long, and we've ran into all different types in the military, and you're going to have everybody on this list in the military. You're going to have your omegas, your gammas, your deltas, your alphas, and really, in my opinion, I think that wherever they come in at is typically where they're going to maintain for the most part.
Really?
right?
So they don't evolve?
I mean, it depends on the individual, really. Everybody, like you were saying, can move up and down the list depending, but like you can't go from, my opinion, an omega to an alpha. You probably can get up to a beta or a sigma, but really the military.
Even in the military.
Yeah, my opinion in the military, it's just going to intensify really who you are already. So if you already have that foundation of an alpha or a sigma or a beta, then you're just going to.
It's going to 10x it. Because
Yeah.
like Tony always says, whoever you are before you get rich, you just become more of that. So if you're
Right.
a nice guy when you get money, you're going to be a nice, multimillionaire. If you're an asshole, you're going to be an asshole.
Yeah, money just amplifies
Whatever
who you
you
are
are.
already.
That's
Is I
correct.
believe is what people say is that if you're an asshole and then you become wealthy, now you're the wealthy asshole. But if you're a nice guy or a cool guy and you get money, now you're a nice cool guy with money. And I've seen it all the time. But basically, that's what you're saying with the military is that some people improve, but it will just sort of expose who you are and amplify that.
Absolutely, yeah. I think that's pretty much what it does, in my opinion. And you might think a little bit differently, but I think overall that's kind of the base.
I would agree with that overall, but I do think that you get a lot of guys come in at that beta level, and then as they get rank, they think because they have a higher rank that now they're an alpha, and that's not necessarily true. They just have more rank, and you have to respect that rank while you're in the military because that's part of the command structure and the order of being in the military. But that doesn't necessarily make you an alpha. You can be a lower rank and be an alpha, and be the true leader in the room.
But
versus
someone has
who's
more
not.
education than you, and then they're
Right.
higher rank, right? Does it still work that way?
So you might
Yeah.
have more leadership abilities, raw leadership abilities, and that person might just have more rank. But you have to follow the person with more rank who might think that they're an alpha. But that's just how the military works. So I do think that a lot of people come in and they maintain whatever that level was as a majority, but you have the exception, and just in regular life, right? Because like Philip was saying, the military is it comprised of everybody out of regular society, right? So the exception they're the ones who move up and down this list, or typically up this list, because they're going to seize every opportunity. They're going to go to all the leadership schools, all the different military trainings, and eventually build up that confidence and have that charismatic personality and put themselves out there. And that's how it is in regular life too. But you have a majority of people who just maintain.
So I'll argue with that just a little
You
bit.
can argue with your boy.
All right, let's go.
I love it.
I
Go
want to hear
ahead.
this.
Now, what he's saying is correct and true, right? Now, none of these categories really identify somebody that, poses as an alpha or poses as a sigma or a beta, right? But now if you come in as a entry-level person into the military and your chase that you want to go after is power, then when you get that rank, and regardless if you could back up the rank in the military or not, you're going to be like, well, I have this rank on my chest, so you have to follow my authority. And that's my opinion, not necessarily an alpha leader. That's a beta, a sigma type person that, you have to follow me because I've achieved this rank, but they really don't have any qualities for them to be followed
I
or
got
led.
you. Well, they say, like, if you think you're a leader and you turn around and nobody's following you, you just went for a walk in a park.
I like that.
Because leaders lead by caring and by being compassionate and by guiding, their rank,
Yeah, absolutely.
to follow them,
Yeah.
but by example.
All right, I have a question for you, Jennelle. It just
right.
kind of popped into my head.
Whew, put me in the hot seat because
yeah.
I'm hot.
Yes.
Where would you put Joe Biden in here?
Where would I put Joe Biden?
Can we make a separate list?
I don't know.
Where would you put him?
I mean, okay. Obviously, we don't do a lot of politics on this show. I think Obama was the alpha.
Okay.
sure.
And he picked Biden to kind of be the follower of the alpha, the beta,
Okay.
right? And then what happens when the alpha retires? Now it's the beta's job to kind of step into that role. But it's pretty clear at this point, whether you're a Democrat, Republican, whatever, he ain't the lead dog.
No.
Okay? But, that's a whole nother conversation. But you wanted to ask that question.
Yeah, I want to know which one.
Which one? She's like,
I'm
pushing.
saying that he's the definition of a beta is the follower of the alpha.
He's
Okay.
a beta.
So he was the beta that,
safe.
basically followed Obama's coattails and rode that into the presidency. And then obviously he lucked out because
what about Trump?
Trump's an alpha.
He's alpha.
Yeah.
Not even close.
And Clinton, right?
Clinton. Fuck Clinton. I'll give my motherfucking blowjob right now.
Clinton was
That's the
top.
guy.
He was a top G.
Oh, he's Clinton, the top
I know.
G. Clinton was getting
I did not have sexual
Yeah.
relations
with that woman.
with that woman.
Yeah, no.
But she did give me a BJ. Okay.
Yeah, exactly. Now whether you like Trump or not, he's clearly an alpha.
Right.
Yeah, he
He's
is.
charismatic. He's confident. He's dominant. Dominant.
All in one.
Dominant. Right. He's attractive to women, or at least he was at
He
one
was.
point for sure.
He was banging
And
baddies.
Highly successful. No doubt, Donald Trump is an alpha.
Correct.
Listen, here's the thing.
He got Melania.
You don't have to like alphas. A lot of alphas will piss people off.
That's
Andrew
right.
Tate is an example. That's an alpha ass dude, right?
But
Sat
they're
with
just-
that dude for 8 hours. I'm like, you're an alpha guy, brother. What's up? How you feeling? He's like,
Yeah.
yeah, right back at you, homie. I'm like, all right, takes one to know one,
takes
dog.
one
What
to
up? Want to do some push-ups right now? What's up?
Let's go.
All right, but okay, so that's your question. All right. Anyway, back to Jennelle.
All right.
Here's actually, because obviously with Jennelle, we're going to always revert back to sex.
Of course.
Who of this list, and I want you to think,
Okay.
is actually the best lover?
Oh.
Is it actually the alpha? Is it more the silent, strong type? Or is it
I'm
the
gonna say-
beta that will literally do whatever you say in
No,
the
no, no,
bedroom?
no. I'm going to tell you this.
Yes.
I want to give you the top three because the others don't count. They're not getting laid
Right,
anyway.
like the Omega you're not looking at,
They're,
exactly.
They're not getting laid anyway. And
Clearly,
by the way,
but 1/3 of men under 30
I know,
have
they're
not
not-
been laid in a year.
I know.
1/3. Those are the Omegas and the Gammas and possibly the
that's why I
Deltas.
tell people all the time, and women hit on me. I say, if you're with an alpha or even a sigma and he's fucking other bitches, look the other way because we're all fucking the same guys anyway.
You hear that, ladies?
Thank you.
Stop getting mad at me.
Exactly. People hate, they say I'm not confident because I believe that way. I'm just like, no, I'm just a realist. I understand if I'm with a high value man and he's fucking hoes here and there, but he's still committed to me. We're married, building something, kids, something, some level of commitment. I'm going to stay with him because women don't want to believe it, but they're all being cheated on anyways.
Oh, wow.
Because we're all fucking the same 20% of guys. 80% of the women fucking 20% of the women.
Yeah.
80% of the women fucking 20% of the men, rather.
Is
Correct.
that the alphas you're talking about?
Yeah.
Okay, good, because I like them sigmas.
Well, I don't know. I think
Okay.
they're in that too.
Okay, but
Okay.
you're gonna give
I'm
a
gonna
list,
tell you
a
the
hierarchy list.
Okay, so we're gonna say
All right.
betas they're not like, when you think that they might be the best lover because they'll do anything. However, remember, a woman wants to be consumed in the bedroom. Consumed. Like, she wants to feel like she can just like surrender and let go and be ravished.
That's why you even hear like girls are like 6'2". They're like, I just felt small in his hand, in his arms.
Yeah.
It's like, you're a big bitch. Like,
You're a big bitch. So
wow.
that's a tall glass.
Right.
But the thing
I
is,
just want to feel small.
a beta is just you're just telling him what to do, and you're like, come on, that's not fun. Like telling the kids what to do all day. I want to be told what the fuck to do. I want to be choked out a little bit. You know.
What'd you say again?
I said I like
choked out or turned out.
Choked out a little bit.
All right, yeah, that's the whole
and then
thing.
turned out.
Yeah, both of it, you know. But the thing, okay, so betas and
You guys did not expect this coming in here.
Nope.
I'm so
Some
sorry.
military dudes. You can roll with the punches here.
I'm so sorry for your wives or girlfriends. Oh wait, you're not married. You're fucking hosts. So we're gonna talk about that later. We're talking about that later. I've already sized y'all up. So Sigmas are where it's at to me.
Really?
I'm gonna tell you why. Okay, let's
Look
go.
at Nat. Nat is so excited right now.
I'm gonna
Shout out
tell
to you, Johnny Depp Sigmas out
I'm
there.
gonna tell you why. Alphas are good because you know what?
Yeah.
They'll pick you up, they'll throw you around, they'll choke you out, they'll do all that stuff that you're like, fuck yeah, DP, all the fun stuff, right? But
It's not a told you to hide your kids today, guys.
Yeah, ridiculous.
and it's good because
Alex is over here. Is on his third cocktail. Like, what the fuck did I get myself into over here?
But so an alpha is great for all those things. And
Yeah.
it does. It makes a woman feel small. It makes her feel like submissive and like, oh, like, yes, daddy. You know, all that stuff. And you like to be called daddy. All y'all do. Admit it.
Poppy, but okay. Keep
Poppy.
it moving. Yeah.
From Miami.
Puppy. Okay. So, but a Sigma, where Sigma takes the cake,
Yeah.
they will fucking choke you out, but lovingly tell you. Like how much they fucking love you.
I'm gonna kill you, bitch. What?
No,
I will choke you out in a loving way.
Because they're mysterious and
It's-
charismatic.
yeah, so they're not they're gonna be strong, but it's like there's not
Google
as
Sigma man while she's
it's
talking. Just
not
pull that
as
up.
much like it is. It's like strong, but still passionate and loving.
Yeah.
It's just
okay.
like they'll like.
It's not just aggressive.
It's not just aggressive or alpha, and sometimes alphas you're like, fuck, man, am I gonna make it through this session? You're like, am I gonna live? But with a Sigma, it's strong, but they're still
Got
like
it.
really connect. Oh my god.
Got it.
Just leave me alone for
But
a few minutes, guys.
images,
I just need a few minutes
Yeah,
to calm
Jennelle's
down.
getting turned on over here by the thought of getting choked out over here by some
By my Sigma.
Oh, he's considered one.
The rarest male. Well, what's crazy, we just had Destiny on the other day.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, we had an episode with this guy, Destiny. Very smart
Do I
guy,
know
very
this?
super liberal, very progressive.
See,
Came here,
Kiana, look. Kiana.
Keanu. He came here with his wife. They're married. And he said that he's 97% straight. So I said, 3% of the time you're sucking some dick? And he's like, sometimes you need a dick in your life. And I was like, no, you don't.
No, you don't.
Not at all. Not at all. And he's like, well, I'm a Sigma. And I was like,
Well,
and I kind of went down the rabbit hole, like, what is the Sigma thing? And that's how we basically got to this.
Got it.
Shout out to you, Destiny, for even putting that into my head.
Yeah.
Anyway, but I had some strong feelings. Like,
Sigmas can
once
be.
you start, essing some D as a guy, like, I don't think there's bisexual guys.
No, there's not. You're either you love dick or you love pussy.
Yes.
Like one of the two.
Yeah, I'm on team PUSSY.
Yeah,
I
or
hope so.
yeah, there's no such thing as bisexual for a guy.
So
for a
what do you
girl,
think was wrong with him then?
He's
If he's saying that 97% of the time he's into women.
no. Here's the thing. He is in his identity is attached to this idea of him being. You said what does he do?
He said he's a Sigma. Oh no, he's
What does he do for a living?
he's a YouTube influencer. He's a
Okay.
gamer. He's a gamer. He's like
Okay.
one of the biggest guys on Twitch.
There we go. Game. Okay.
Yes. Yes. It's not like he's playing football.
Say less. Okay.
Exactly. Say less.
Say less. I got those from the guys in the green room taught me that. But anyway, so his identity is attached to that. Like he's this gamer. You know,
No, he's
whatever.
not a big, strong alpha dude.
No,
Not
no,
even
no.
close.
So he's just playing by that rule. He likes dick. But
Ew.
but he can't say that because he's in the public eye. He's got a hot wife, I imagine.
She's a cute girl.
She's
yeah.
cute, whatever. And so that's his identity is attached to that role of being successful. If he comes out and says, "Yeah, I love dick," and he's got all these followers on gaming, they're gonna be like, "Do you see what I'm saying? It's a different."
I don't know.
I
Nice
told
to
him-
following.
No, the people are following. I mean, he's a
Yeah.
smart guy. So like, I told him, listen, even at the onset of the conversation, debate, dialogue, whatever we had, I go, we're going to disagree on some stuff. But before you feel like I'm disrespecting you, let me go off top.
Yeah.
I think you're a very smart guy. I've watched a
Yeah,
lot of your
he
content.
is.
You are not a lightweight.
No.
And I had a very interesting dialogue with him. But one of the things that we disagreed on was I was like, at no point in my life was I like, you know what?
I'll take some dick.
There's some dick today. You know,
You can't
it's
do
a
that.
Tuesday.
You can't go
I
from.
don't get that.
You can't go from tapping ass, nice tight yoni, and then say, yeah, tomorrow I want to get fucked by a guy,
Yeah.
or I want to put a dick in my mouth. You can't do that. You're
Yeah.
either dick. It's just, and so guys will say that, like, I'm bi-curious. It's like, no, you can't be, dude. You just don't want to admit it all the way because you want to live your life the way the world perceives you.
Yeah, so like there's this guy called you know who Jonathan Chebin is? Google this guy. So when I was doing like 10 years ago when I was on the Keeping Up with the Kardashians and my best friend was that guy, Chris Humphries, he married Kim
yeah.
K and I was a groomsman in the
Oh,
wedding
yeah.
and the whole He goes by the Food God. Have you ever seen this guy's face ever? Anyone?
Oh yeah,
Anyone?
I know who he is. I know exactly who he is.
Google his age, by the way.
Okay.
He was her
Lives
makeup
forever.
artist, though.
Yeah.
He was
well,
Kim K's makeup artist.
all that and above, whatever he's doing.
Yeah.
48.
48 years old. So my problem with him, and he's a super nice guy. If I see him in public, dap him up. He's
Yeah.
in Miami, and if he ever sees this, he'll be like, "You're an asshole."
He likes dick.
Clearly, he likes dick.
Of course.
but he has not come out and said,
It's so obvious.
Hey, I'm into dick." He's like,
Yeah.
he's like riding the fence. No
No.
pun intended. But like, just come out and say who you are. We're in America in 2022. If you're gay, just be like, "I'm gay."
But they can't do that, though.
Why not? He's in Hollywood. He's in liberal leftist Hollywood.
It's like
Maybe
it's an
that's why.
identity shift.
What do you
It's-
mean? That's exactly why you should just
Because
embrace.
he doesn't want everyone to know because he's in like the eye. He
But
just
maybe
doesn't
everyone
want-
does know.
well,
They
obviously
do,
not
but
because he hasn't admitted it.
It's something
Jesus
attached to their
Christ. No?
identity, and they
You know who
believe
that guy
it's
is?
supposed to be a certain
No
way.
You ever
I
seen him
do.
before?
No.
Haven't.
So you're clearly not keeping up with the Kardashians.
Kardashians.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
not your thing. I get
Yeah.
it. All right. So we're on the same page here. Either
Absolutely.
For a girl, you could definitely
You
be
can
bi.
be both. You can like pussy one day, and then you want to get, ran through by your guy.
Ran through. The visions I'm having when you say ran through. I don't see a one-on-one being ran
It
through.
could be,
Okay.
whatever.
Anyway, I promise we're not going to go too graphic here.
All right, no.
So,
I'll pull back a little.
yeah. So just to recap this, you think that Sigmas are the best lovers.
Absolutely.
Got you.
It's more passionate. It's more intimate. Alpha is just, it's just like all dominance and all control.
Yeah. I think I'm more of a alpha / sigma,
I could
especially in
see
the
that.
bedroom.
You know what's
I'm
up.
not some psychopath pounding away. Like I'm gonna
You know how to
I'm gonna
seduce.
choke you out with love.
You are.
Looks nice.
You are.
You're alive still, honey, right? Okay,
You're
good.
gonna
Love
look.
you.
You're gonna look her in her eyes before you spit in her mouth.
Jesus. Welcome to my weekends, everybody. Anyway, here we go. If you have not subscribed to Soscast,
Make sure you guys subscribe.
Make sure you're
Like,
subscribed.
comment, and
And if you
share.
want me to spit in your mouth,
Make sure you subscribe.
we're playing loose today. Anyway,
God.
this is wild.
You guys
anyway,
decided to drink. I'm
That's
the
true.
sober one, by the
right.
way,
You're the
y'all.
only one not
Yeah.
drinking. Alex is like, how can I get another fucking cocktail over here? This is not your typical show. Anyway, I appreciate everyone being here. I appreciate everyone candor. We're going to include these guys. I promise there's going to be topics to weigh in on. Real quick, let's go to this clip of Jennelle.
Yes.
Okay. So you've often heard, right? Like there's a saying out there, like a woman will know, like within the first few seconds of meeting you, whether she'll sleep with you or not. Do you agree with that or not?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Okay, let's play this clip real quick.
And I actually did. I learned how to read men quite well because I was, in that world for so long. I just learned I could understand men. I could look at them in 10 to 15 seconds and realize what part of the country they're from, what they did, if they had a mistress, if they were married, how many children they had, what tax bracket they're in.
True.
I just became a master at that. So you got to learn how.
Okay, so this is my point. And by the way, guys, don't feel threatened right now because you said I've already eyed them up and down.
Yeah.
Have you really?
Absolutely.
Okay, these are big, strong
I
dudes
know
over
they
here.
are.
Okay, so are you guys comfortable with her kind of eyeing you up and down?
Oh yeah,
Go
send
for it. Yeah.
Feels like I'm single. What's up? Eye me up and down. So if you could, let's play a game right here.
Yes.
Our friends, by the way, subscribe to these guys' channel. Give yourself a shout out real quick. Where can you find their channel?
So you got on YouTube, it's Adulting Shouldn't Suck.
Shouldn't
That's-
suck.
Yeah, Adulting Shouldn't
I keep
Suck.
saying doesn't,
No.
but it shouldn't.
Shouldn't.
Doesn't and it shouldn't.
No, exactly.
Okay. Subscribe. You said you eyed them up right down.
Of course.
So let's have a game.
Yeah.
if you go to the sexual hierarchy, clearly they're not anywhere near the bottom list. Clearly,
No.
But you've eyed them down.
Yeah.
What have you extrapolated from our friends Alex and Philip so far? Where would they be on this list?
Okay.
What else have you identified from these guys?
Okay.
Philip is drinking
Take your
galore.
shots.
Let's make it
Let's
real.
get ready for
awkward
this.
here. Go ahead.
Okay, so
Philip and Alex.
Philip
And
and,
then Adam.
Alex. So so ass and penis. I got it. Sorry. Sounds like a way to remember Philip
Okay.
Alex.
I'm going to use that.
It's
in the
an
future.
association.
Yeah.
That's how I
He will use
remember
that for
things.
sure.
I've had some
Yeah.
trauma, head trauma, so work with me. Okay, so Philip, I like you a lot, so don't be mad at me, okay?
No, go.
All right.
Go for it.
You're definitely the alpha between the two of you. Yeah, a little
Philip
bit.
is?
Yes.
Wow.
And the size doesn't matter in this case, y'all.
But it does in real life.
But it does
We
in
know
real
what you
life.
know.
We-
Okay.
So yeah, between y'all. But I feel like I noticed that right away. And it was funny, didn't you rock, paper, scissors?
We did.
Yeah.
But, and I was like, he's gonna go first anyway. I already knew that.
Really?
Yeah, absolutely. So, and I don't think it's not personal. It's just what I'm, getting off of you. You play it safe, like you like missionary and you like, anal. You know what I'm saying? Like that's just, he's the stable, like your wife she's probably hot, but not super hot. She's like hot enough, right? To you, she's probably hot enough. But she's probably like hot enough for you to want to fuck her missionary, but like not super hot to where she's turning heads all the time and guys are like, damn, I want to tap his his wife's ass. You know what I mean? She's in the middle. You have a couple kids, right?
I do.
Yeah. She's a great, great mom, takes care of the kids, really good, and takes care of you. And you and she married you because you're safe and you're stable to her. You provide a stable life for her. And it's safe. You guys aren't crazy. You're not wilding out, doing a lot of crazy stuff. This is just what I'm reading from you. You guys like Netflix and chilling. You maybe watch a series together. You do a lot of things together. I can see. Yeah, I don't know if she's giving you a lot of blowjobs. I'm not really sure. You seem pretty happy, so she could, but I feel like she's a little more conservative. Maybe you have to bring that side out of her. I don't know. How am I doing?
You're about 50% off.
Okay.
Okay. Well, would you be
Thanks.
willing to reveal what she was dead on and what she was dead wrong about?
I would say you were pretty spot on with, being stable.
Yeah.
Right. We don't have a lot of highs. We don't have a lot of
Yeah.
lows. There's not like any crazy relationship.
Yeah.
So, in that aspect, I would say you were very accurate.
Yeah.
Where that's where I see a lot of people getting divorced
Uh-huh.
or having those lows and stepping out on their marriages.
High
or,
highs and low lows.
Yeah, we don't have that. We're very consistent.
Yeah, I could see that.
We never Netflix and chill.
Okay.
We're very against just wasting time.
Okay.
and
But you
always-
spend time together a lot?
We do. We actually both work from home.
Well, that's what I meant. So I saw the aspect of you guys do a lot of things together. Netflix was just
It was more of a metaphor. Like they're
you're-
in the they're
they're
doing their
in the
thing
proximity
together.
together.
Gotcha.
You guys are doing things.
Not literally actually watching
no,
a show.
no.
Okay, all right. What else was she wrong or right about?
She's an excellent mom.
Yeah.
She definitely helps take care
Takes
of
care of
kids.
her kids, yeah.
Sometimes she calls me her third kid or him.
That's
he can be
correct.
her fourth kid.
She's very nurturing.
Yes. But she is also very professional and successful at the same time. So she's not
could
just
see
a
that.
stay-at-home mom. A lot of guys want that where they're the successful
Yeah,
one
no.
and then they have somebody that raises the kids, which is great. That is not what I wanted.
Yeah.
I wanted somebody who was also
Equal.
very ambitious. Yeah, and my equal. I
Yeah.
wasn't looking for somebody that I was going to
Like subservient or
dominate.
anything like that.
Which
yeah.
everybody has their types.
I didn't
but
really go
like
into that
somebody who
specifically. I was more
is
like
equally
yeah.
aggressive at life.
Yeah.
Interesting. So she kind of she eyed you down.
Yeah, I got you.
Yeah.
But by the way, you're a freaking stud, bro.
He
I'm
didn't
not
bring.
trying to mess
He
with
didn't
this
bring up the.
linebacker.
He didn't bring up the sex stuff, but that's okay. He's married. I understand.
Right. But,
Right.
But
at
I
the
already,
very least,
I already know what's going on.
I don't
in
know what
that
your wife
bedroom.
looks like, but you are the type of guy that deserves more blowjobs.
You are.
Just letting you know.
Please blow him more. Thank you.
You're a nice guy. Hook him up.
He's been in the reserves for
traveling a
20
lot.
fucking years. Every
Yeah.
night when he gets off work, just pull his pants down and give him head.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how many relationships work like that, Jennelle,
But
but
they should.
They should.
They should. If I
Ladies,
was-
listen.
if I was
wish more
president-
ladies exactly would listen to Jennelle.
Thank you.
All right, let's get into
Okay.
Philip right now.
All
You
right.
said that he's more the alpha in their business
their
relationship.
dynamic. Correct.
By the way, would you guys agree with that?
I mean, I don't think we get into it very much on
He's
like
not gonna admit it.
who pecks out who with the alpha order. We know we negotiate pretty well.
Yeah.
I think.
I'd
I'd say
say
it bounces back.
I would
and
say
Got
that
it.
too, but in this dynamic today, you were.
Okay.
Just how you walked in, who said,
Got
and
it.
the confident, everything.
Got it.
And I would say that he's a little more intro than you. You're a little more introverted than you.
I have grown more introverted as I get older.
Correct.
Huh.
Yeah.
You might not have always been that way. You were an athlete,
Yeah.
right? Play football, I assume, or something, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, of course. So, but you're definitely more introverted now than he is today, sitting in front of me.
Interesting. Well, he's married 13 years.
Correct. He's fucking hoes.
Phillips is single.
Yeah.
You know, I've seen a bunch of your videos. You're definitely more the goofier, wilder dude.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, I'm
Okay.
like the fun uncle is what we've been called in our channel,
Exactly.
and he's
The
the
funkle.
dad. Yeah.
Funkle.
Funkle. All right, keep talking about the Funkle. What have you extrapolated from our friend over here?
So-
by the way, we're going to come to the super chats in a second. Nat, you're going to let me know.
Make sure we get
Nat's
some.
got a voice. She's going to use it. Go ahead.
Yes.
Yeah, so you don't have a problem getting women. I don't feel like you do. I don't know if you really are ready to. Have you been married before?
I have
no,
not.
you haven't. He's not right. You're not. I don't feel like you're fully ready to take the plunge yet. I'm not sure why.
Hold out, brother.
Yeah.
Hold out.
Yeah. He's
Come
not
hang out with
ready.
me in South Beach, hey?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but he gets whatever you want in life, you get. I feel that very strongly. Like you go after it, you get it, and you're confident that you're going to get it, and so you get it.
Yeah.
And you show up in life like that in your body language, everything, how you dress, how you were assertive with me, like your handshakes, I gauged all that, how you connected
Wow.
with me, if you looked in my eyes, if you looked at my boobs, all that stuff. So, yeah.
By the way, is it wrong to look at a girl's boobs?
No. I caught Joel doing it this morning.
Yeah, but you're banging Joel.
I'm not being
Oh,
him.
you're friends
I
with
told
Joel.
you.
Sorry.
Remember I told you we've never fucked.
Oh,
but
well, just
yeah.
get it out of the way. God
I
damn.
know. I've been telling
All right.
him. He's
It's
afraid
fine.
of me.
He's afraid of you?
Yeah.
You're intimidating, like the red woman. By the way, is there any by the way, everything she said about you, you're gonna be like, yeah, she's right. She's right. She's like, who's gonna disagree with that?
Yeah, no, 100%. Yeah, no, I mean, I'm not disagreeing. I think it's pretty accurate. You know, I try to stay as humble as I can.
You don't have to be humble. Go ahead.
But yeah, no, I mean, I set goals. I go after them. I accomplish them. So
Yeah. Yeah.
So Jennelle, she does it again.
Yeah.
Amazing. You want to read anything right now? Or you're good for
we're
right
good.
now.
Yeah. Let's
Okay.
just make sure we get some questions for our guests today. It is Veterans Day, so let's get some super chats. And make sure you guys subscribe and share today's podcast.
Sick.
Yes.
All right, let's get on to the next topic. So we just talked about the different types of men, right? The alpha, the beta, the omega, the sigma, all these types of men. But what does it actually mean to be a man, right? So that's what we're going to discuss right now. So, is being a man being an alpha? Like, when do you become a man? Do you become a man like when you get your driver's license, when you go to the army, when you serve in the military, when you have a kid, when you lose your virginity, right? When you have your first beer. Like, I remember when I was 13, I had a bar mitzvah. Shout out to the Jews out there, my peoples. They're like, today's the day you become a man. I'm like, I'm fucking 13 years old. I'm in 7th grade. Like, what do you want from me over here? Clearly not a man yet. So Judaism's got some stuff to work on. But I get it. That is the progression to becoming a man. But I think one of the best explanations I've ever heard about what it means to be a man came from Shia LaBeouf. And he says it's when you're responsible for other people. So play this clip real quick.
You become a man when you get a driver's license. Like, what do? You're 16, we give you a driver's license. Okay, well, wait, like, you get a job? Like, when do you become a man? You become a man when you become responsible for other people. And so, like, I'm very new to this being a man thing, and I'm still not there, and I'm on a path. But I didn't have I grew up in a culture that told me going to war made you a man. Going to prison and coming back makes you a man. Making $1 million makes you a man, and it doesn't. And you don't know it till you've done all these things and realize, damn, I'm still a little fucking boy. Or been around people who've been there a bunch of times. I don't know nothing about being at war like Kevin, but I know a bunch of soldiers that come back and are still fucking little boys. When do you be?
That is so freaking powerful right there. Like, I've watched that. We played this clip before. I think it's so powerful. And I think it's even more powerful because we have guys who have been in the military, are dads, have made some money, right? I assume you have your driver's license as well. And I think it's so freaking powerful. And one of the quote that this made me think of is that, anyone can be a father, but it takes a real man to be a dad, right? So when you see something like that as being in the military, let's turn to the alpha for a second, if we will. What does that do for you? Like, Shia LaBeouf just kind of laid it out there. And I think it's such a true comment about when you become a leader and responsible for other people, that's really when you become a man, okay? There's a lot of crypto boys out there, especially in Miami. They've made $1 million, okay? I've made $1 million. That doesn't mean you're a man.
No.
Okay? So what does that mean to you?
Well, so I actually saw that exact same reel clip, what have you, and I think that he touched on a lot of good points in that video. You know, like what exactly does make you a man, and I think that identifying that he had shortcomings and issues and goals that he needed to work on, or issues that he needed to work on, addressing those type of things is one of the first parts, in my opinion, of like being a man. You know, identifying, like where you're at on that list. You know, are you an alpha, are you a sigma, are you a beta, so on and so forth, and then finding your shortcomings and then working on improving those and making yourself accountable and holding yourself reliable and all that type of stuff.
But you guys are both fathers.
Correct.
Okay, so I'm not a father yet. I'm a great uncle. I'm like a fun uncle to like literally 1,000 kids, because all my best friends live in Miami, and I'm like every weekend I see some kid's birthday, whatever. Like, but I'm not responsible for these kids. I've been a camp counselor. I've been a teacher in my former life. So I've been responsible for kids, but the beauty of being the uncle or the teacher or the coach
can
or
give
the
them home.
It's, hey, we had a great day. I'm out. Let me go bang some chicks now. I'm out.
Exactly.
Wrap it up, right?
Yeah.
Shout out to Trojan, who's been
Say,
responsible.
make sure you do it
Those are my
too.
best friends out there.
Yeah.
I'm working my way up to Magnum, but we'll get there. The boy could dream.
Yeah.
But you guys are fathers. So, like, walk me through that. You've also been, have you ever been to war or no? You know guys that have been to war? You have?
Yeah, both of us have, yeah.
Where have you been?
We were both in Mosul, Iraq. Actually.
Been in Iraq.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that clip kind of nailed it. Like, you must know a lot of men that have been to war, but they kind of come back and they still act like children.
Oh, for sure.
So I'm trying to understand this. Like, when did you think you became a man? Was it when you went to war? Was it when you had your first kid? Was it when you started making money? Like, how would you break down what Shia had to say?
At the time, I thought when I went to war, because I'm actually a combat veteran. I went in 04, 05. It was a very different Iraq back then. When I came home, I thought that made me more into a man. And I had a lot of bragging rights compared to my other friends who hadn't really done anything. I was only 19 at the time. And so
In Iraq, 19.
Yes.
Wow.
Okay.
And so
And this
for me,
was what, in 2003? 2004.
2004.
Oh, so this was the insurgents to take over Baghdad? Was that?
So if you remember, the Marines took over, or they had to go take over Fallujah.
Okay,
And
Fallujah, yeah.
then they gave it back to Iraqis. The second time, when the Iraqis let it fall, they had to go back to Fallujah. It was empty. All the insurgents fled up north to Mosul, and we were the closest tank company, so they sent us up there to go make sure that we squashed everything so that they could have their first elections.
Gotcha.
And so,
anyway, I'm just trying to get some perspective here, but go back to what you were saying about war and being a man.
yeah, so when I came home, most other veterans didn't have that kind of experience, so I thought that made me more manly than a lot of them who just went over there and guarded a gate, or, they did their part, but it wasn't at the same level that I thought I was doing at the time. Or my regular friends who were just living life. And fast forward a couple years, that is not what makes a man. I think you can do manly things, but I think a lot of what I don't agree with in that I do agree with Shia LaBeouf is when you learn to take care of others, whether that's people below you in a business or in the military, or you have kids. And for me, I think once I had kids, I learned to put other people above myself. I was no longer the most important thing in my life. My wife wasn't the most important thing in my life. At that time, it was raising these little kids. And now that they're older, they are very important still, but I've also learned my wife is much more important than my kids, because
good.
you have to have a happy relationship
That's right.
in order to foster a good environment for
Correct.
your kids, right?
Correct.
So your kids can't be your life.
Your kids-
But
yeah.
that for me was like a pivotal part where I had to shift my mindset and do more things that would make you a better husband, a better father, a better man. And through raising kids, I think it made me a better leader as well, because I learned to care about other people more than just my own goals and my own ambitions. And I think a lot of leaders miss that mark, and they're more of a boss than a leader because they don't truly care about a lot of the people below them. They're just trying to hit that next promotion or that next dollar. And a good man looks out for the people all around them.
Wow.
What was your turning point in that, like in raising your kids? Was it like they hit a certain age, or you like came across a certain like difficulty in your marriage? Like, what was the turning point for you to like realize that? Because a lot of people don't realize like what they're going through is a turning point. So like, what was that for you?
I think a big turning point for me was when I had my first kid. I didn't know anything about kids.
Right.
My wife had a cheerleading gym, and she'd been around kids for a decade at that point. And I'd never been around kids at all. I'd only had like one kid in my life. And so I didn't know, or I wasn't around kids in the military. I wasn't around them in college. And then I got married, and all of a sudden I had a kid. And I realized it was like a giant hole in experiences in life. And that's when honestly, I took a back burner to my wife and I was like, hey, tell me how to do this. Tell me how to be a good dad. Like, what are the expectations here on me on how to raise these kids? Because I don't know, right? Like, I can tell you how to do all kinds of other stuff, but like.
How old were you when you had your first kid?
25.
Okay.
Right? And so,
and you said you were 19, right?
18.
18.
Yeah, you were still a kid.
Wow. Okay.
Basically, you know.
But carry on, Alec.
what I was saying is like, for me, that was a turning point of like, hey, this is something I know nothing about and I have to learn. And there's this tiny little, human and you have to take care of it.
Girl.
And, yes. Little girl.
Yeah.
And so for me, that was a big like pivotal moment in my life of I actually love something more than I love myself. Yeah. And so that was, I guess that was the shifting in my direction of like, hey, if I'm going to be a good man or a good leader, I have to be paying attention to other people and watching out for their needs and caring about them as well. And so to me, by having kids, it made me better in a lot of different areas.
And then what about your wife because you said earlier that you realized that you have to put your wife first before your kids. From doing that, where was that turning point where like, wait, my wife is actually priority? What was that for you? After your second daughter?
Yes, after my second daughter. So
So
we had them
two
almost
girls.
back to back.
Yeah.
Right. So I think they're like 16 months apart.
Oh, wow.
Maybe 17 months apart. I don't know. Close enough. And so that was, for anybody that's a new parent or a young parent, that is hard.
It's hard.
Having them back to back. And so by, I think, our third year of being, maybe it was our fourth year being married, that's when I realized it was all about the kids. Or I would say we realized it was all about the kids, not about us enough. And we were having marital problems of just life was just going to work, raising kids, and that was it. And
No
we
blood
realized
jobs.
like at that time.
I know. Trust me, I know how it goes.
But once things get better, everything changes, right? So once we started focusing on us, like at least going on a date one time a week, right? Or like instead of Netflix and chilling, how about we just sit down and talk? And so a lot of times, because she's still my best friend, right? And so we'll sit down and instead of like Netflix and chilling, we'll be game planning. Like, all right, what are your goals? What are you working on this week?
Good.
What are we trying to achieve this month? Whether it's through our own business together, because we have the Adulting Shouldn't Suck YouTube. We have Adult Financial Skills, where we created an online financial curriculum for high schools with Philip. And we have all these things, and she has multiple other businesses on top of that. So then we're just basically talking about our future and our dreams together. So once we realize, like, hey, quit doing this artificial stuff that doesn't really make you happy by just sitting on a couch and not actually talking to each other, and going back on dates again. Or if you can't go on a date, maybe just going out for coffee in the morning because you're busy or whatever. That's when that shifted back of like, hey, we got to focus on this and having a strong relationship. Otherwise, we're going to end up like a bunch of our other friends end up divorced because it was all about
you
the
had
kids.
that conversation, like if we don't do this, this is the outcome that we're gonna have, and we don't want that. It's a tough talk right
Yeah,
there.
that is.
Well,
Shit.
It's that second girl. I'm telling you.
Don't do it.
Because people let kids take over, and then when kids take over the relationship, the mom becomes so dedicated to the child, forgets about the husband's needs, and then it's like, I have to take care of these kids. In your case, it's a little different. You both were kind of doing that, right? Because you're both working, both parenting, but then you're not putting any energy or attention on each other, and so then there's no more sexual polarity, and then that's when the relationship's over.
So, Jennelle, in your opinion, what does it actually mean to be a man from a woman's perspective?
Yeah, and it's great. He was like leading me up to say it was exactly what he said. It's presence over penis every single day. Men don't know how to be present. Literally. Like if you want to give your wife the best orgasms, your girl the best orgasms, that's great. But they'll take presence over anything.
And you're not talking about gifts presence. You're talking about being
presence.
there.
Like how I
like
define
quality
it
time
is
type of
directed,
presence.
connected, focused energy towards them.
Directed, connected,
focused energy
Wow.
towards them. That's the definition of presence. So it's like I can have it with Joel. Like he'll be like, just, are you okay? What's going on? He won't even say a few words, but he's just like sitting with me, and he's really listening to what I'm saying. And like I feel like his presence is so intense, like I feel it in my body, like physically. Like I feel his energy in my body. I'm like, fuck, man. Like if we have like, you guys have tornadoes here, right?
Hurricanes.
Hurricanes. And in Cali, we have earthquakes. Like say we're here and there's, a hurricane that hits and he's looking at me and he's with me present, I wouldn't even know it's happening.
Wow.
That's the level of presence that men need to cultivate. So that
But
level,
that can't be a 24/7 thing.
but it's
So,
not
how does
just
that
with
work?
it's not just with their woman, it's with their life. He's so present in his commitment to his purpose in life that he's unwavered, he's unshakable, he's unmovable. That's the level of presence that a man needs to have first. I was just using the instance of energy with him and I.
Yeah.
But like they need to have that for their purpose in life, whatever that might be, whether it's being in the military, whether it's, being the best barber, the best motivational speaker, the best yogi, whatever it is that you're doing, that's your purpose. And you don't let any bitch take you off that. Not even your kids. Like not even God, because God or the divine gave you that purpose. But
Beyond your purpose.
But men are so fickle. They will fold for the hottest piece of ass that comes by or for the next. So being present with yourself in your body as a man can, directed, connected, focused energy in this instant towards you and your purpose.
Mm-hmm.
And then everything from falls outside of that. Like, are you present with your wife? Or your woman? Are you present with your kids? Are you present with your colleagues? Are you present with your friends?
Get off your cell phone, basically.
Get off your cell
be
phone.
in the moment.
Be there fully.
Right.
People don't do that anymore.
You know how they say that depression is living in the past and anxiety is living in the future, but you need to be in the moment, the presence of today.
And in your body.
Yeah.
In tune. And a lot of men in the military have done this. They've dissociated from their body. Because women do it because of trauma. Men do it because they've been in battle, and they've seen shit.
What does that mean? Disassociate from their
They
body?
leave
Like
it-
they're there, but they're just not there.
They're just not there. So in sex,
Like what does that mean? They're not looking. They're not paying attention. They're
just
not focused.
For instance, all of those. For instance, in sex, they're fucking their wife or their girl, but they're not even there. They're just using that body as they're just like I say, two giant dildos using each other to get off. The woman's not there. She's thinking of her laundry list, whose kids she has to pick up.
She's thinking of that during sex.
And the
Shit.
man's like, "Fuck, man," trying to say like, "Is this my wife, the porn star? What's happening?"
You're thinking that the guy's thinking of other
yeah,
chicks.
he's not even there. He's not even fully in his body. Doesn't know what she needs. He's not present with her. They're not breathing together. So
You know what's crazy? This is actually resonating with me. So you're familiar with the 5 love languages?
Yes.
Yes.
We all know this.
Yeah.
Like the 5 love languages, it's gifting, words of affirmation, acts of service, quality
And
time,
touch, and
physical touch.
Yeah.
So I did this with the girl that I was with forever. We're together, we're not together, we're engaged, we're not engaged, we're getting married, we're not, we're back and forth. And I sit down with my aunt, and she's a very holistic, we're gonna do
like
this,
her.
5 language things. As soon as I said holistic, you're like, I want to be your
I'm
friend.
like, yeah, she's cool.
And this girl at the time, very beautiful British girl, and she worked for me. Like she was my girlfriend, and I was like, well, I need you to work, I need you to do something. So you're gonna be like my secretary assistant. And she had a very pretty, lovely British voice.
Perfect.
Hello, I'm calling on behalf of Adam Sosnick, and I'd like to
Great.
schedule. I'm like, you're on the phone, baby.
Yeah,
you got you.
on the phone.
And when we did the
Love language.
love languages at the top of her list, and I feel like this is the top of a lot of ladies' list, she was like quality time. I'm like, babe, we live together, we go on vacations all the time, we go out all the time, and we work together. We were doing work from home 10 years ago, like before it was even a thing. We were doing that. And she's like, yeah, but you're not there.
You're not present.
You're not present. And I'm like, I'm right here. She's like, no, you're not.
You're not.
And it was such a, and I was like, what are you even talking? I didn't get it.
Yeah.
I was in my early 30s at the time. Now I'm in my early 40s. And what's crazy is now that I'm single and I'm dating a bunch of girls or whatever, I'm on a date with a girl, and she says, you know what I love about you? You're just listening to me. You're just in the moment.
You're present with her.
And I was like, well, yeah, I mean, I fucking 10 years of
10
headaches.
years of
learning
headaches,
this.
I figured this
but
shit
yes,
out.
I'm in the moment. I'm putting my cell phone down. I'm actually
You're
listening.
feeling.
I'm engaged.
You're feeling her. You're tuning in. So that's why I say presence over penis. I'll take presence, and presence Joel gives me any day over a 10-inch dick. For real, because when someone is present with you, you feel that you feel like you're a goddess.
Wow.
You feel like, God, they're so with me. They feel me. And if you match your breath with her at the same time, dude, women want to be seen and felt. They just need that. And you don't have to do it all the time. We know you're busy. We know you've got your purpose. But if you give a woman just a dose of your presence, she will stay on your dick.
All right, so
for
let's
life.
help the fellas out there.
Yeah.
All right. So fellas, if you're in a relationship with a girl, okay, and you're busy, you're just getting home from work, whatever.
Yes.
Okay, let's give a little tidbit without getting too, out there.
I'll try to keep it a little more
You come
chill.
home and, you walk in the door, she walks in the door. What's the best thing to do to really feel connected for a guy and a woman?
Sit down, put the phones down. Like maybe have a little box. Those phones here, right?
Yep.
Turn everything off. Just sit down with her. Don't say anything. And you can set a timer because this will be weird. Mm-hmm. Like, what the fuck? We're not talking. There has to be space.
Yeah. There has to be conversation.
Don't say anything. And do it for like 3 minutes.
But you're just looking in each other's eyes?
You can do it. There's so many ways you can do this. You can sit across from each other.
By the way, after 5 seconds, it gets awkward. Just
No.
You're just here.
You're here and you can look in each other's eyes. Sometimes that's more intense. Mm-hmm. So you can just be with her.
Okay, here's what we're going to do again. Jennelle and I, we're going to look at each other's eyes.
All right.
Alex and Philip, go ahead. You do the same. Okay. Go. You look at each other's eyes.
I'll read the chat.
Yes.
So what you're going to do, it's not a staring competition in your body.
I'm in the moment. Yeah, go ahead.
You're with me.
Yeah.
Right? You're being present in your body, directed, connected, focused energy. You're unmovable. You're unshakable. And I, in turn, am giving you surrender, vulnerability, intimacy, giving up control, letting go. I'm the alpha. And you feel me. And I can even connect my breathing with you, and we'll be closer.
What do you mean connect the breathing?
So I'm going to watch, and I won't say anything in a minute.
Yeah.
But I will sync my breathing to yours.
Damn.
Do we hold hands?
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Listen, you two start making out. Jennelle and I are just going to...
And
There's going to be so many memes from this.
After a few moments and it's easier when you're closer. Obviously,
course,
we're way far away from each other.
Hey, you know what? You two guys leave the room for a second. Let's go. Turn the cameras off. Let's get this over with.
We're going to go.
But I see what you're saying. It's just like actually have a moment of connection.
Yes. No
and
talking,
just
no
be
words.
There.
You're
with
not
so much technology and media and politics and drama and work.
Taking
just
in
to be connected with your partner
together
is a big deal.
at the same time. Just think about that concept for a moment.
Mm-hmm.
When you breathe, I'm going to breathe. And the woman follows the man's breath. So you're literally saying men are like, women don't give up control. They won't surrender. They won't let me lead. Okay, I'm showing you that my very source of oxygen, the next breath that I'm taking, is contingent upon your guidance. So if you don't breathe, I don't breathe. You have control of my life at this moment.
Damn. Talk about getting choked out.
So you do that, before, during, and after lovemaking. If you're having problems in your marriage, go home and breathe together for 90 days.
Wow. I love that advice. Hopefully you guys took something from that.
Yeah.
All right, we got about a half hour, 45 left, so I want to get into some other things. But thank you for that. Thank you for being vulnerable. Thank you for looking at each other's eyes. Your wife is probably like, what the hell just happened right there? But all right, we talked a lot about being a man, masculinity. Let's talk about what it means to be a woman and feminism these days and femininity. So, modern day feminism is definitely changing the way that that women operate in society. And you might say that's a good thing. You might say that's a bad thing. A lot of women, independent boss babe women are like, hell yeah, we got it better than ever. And then you have a lot of red pill men that's like, get back in your roles, women. That's not how it's supposed to be. So there's good and bad. We can have that debate. But I think we can all agree there's no more real barriers for women today, especially in America. Whether that's career, whether that's job, whether that's money, whether that's work, college. More women are going to college than men these days. Like whether you want to I'm talking about sex. You have sex with as many guys as you want. Do whatever you want. If you want to be an OnlyFans girl, you want to be a lawyer. The world is your oyster, especially here in America today. But Jennelle, you're pretty adamant about one thing.
Yeah.
And this took off last episode.
Yeah.
You said that women should not be in positions of extreme leadership.
Correct.
Why should women not be leaders?
First of all, it's not innately in their DNA to lead. Women can, if you put a woman as a leader in a high position of leading, she will fail every time. Why? Because she's too emotional. We have way more complex hormones than y'all, right? It's like that time of the month. You think about this. These women want to be presents and in these power positions, and your cycle's going to come, and you're going to make a decision that's great for our country? No fucking way. No, you're not. You're too emotional.
But what
So-
happens after they get into what's it called when you don't have your
Menopause?
period in, or menopause?
It's still,
so they don't have their cycles anymore.
I believe it's still innately in women to follow. It's a polarity thing. Like there's a level of women. We run the world in a sense, like not that way. Like we take care of our man, we take care of children, we birth children. Just that process is intense. as
Women
you all
give
know.
life.
We give life.
Let's not forget that.
We create life. We serve men. We nurture the fuck out of men and children. You know, we're really great at sex. You know, like we bring a lot of happiness into the world, and we're great at a lot of things. Leading is not one of them.
Interesting.
It's not, because the man is innately supposed to lead.
So the phrase, men lead, women follow. That's something you abide by.
1,000%.
Yeah, but a
Now-
lot of women are going to get really pissed
I know
about
they
hearing
are.
this.
But the thing is, it's not, here's the thing. Ask yourself this question.
Sure.
Are you happy with the results that we have today in dating and marriages? Are you happy?
Me personally?
Just in general. You look around the world and see what's going on with the LGBTQ,
Yeah.
everything. Everyone can be. You can be a woman today. So can you. You can have kids now. And tell me if that's working.
Yeah, well, I think it's a great question. And I always kind of give the same answer to this, is that there are needs for corrections, and then there are needs for overcorrections. As an example, first wave feminism. Yeah, I
Great.
totally agree.
We need
Women
it.
should vote. Sure.
1,000%.
Women should not be second-class citizens.
No.
Like you see what's going on in Iran right now. They just want to take off their hijabs. You get that fucking whipped and death penalty. That's like their need. They're in need of a correction beyond.
Today,
okay?
yes.
Beyond. And then even more so, second wave feminism, women the right to work. And the Dolly Parton movie, 1980, 9 to 5. They don't want to be sexually harassed in the workplace. Totally understandable. But this third wave, fourth wave feminism about like, I'm the boss, babe, and I can do whatever. I don't need no man.
We run the world. I
It's
don't
like,
need a man.
I have no idea how many women, and I'm not saying that these are boss babes in particular, how many women I know in their early to mid 40s who were kind of going down that path. And I've known them since high school. And now they're like telling me stories, because now that I, not just talk money and I talk a lot of relationships, the first thing I say is like, baby, what's your man status right now? You're a hot girl. You were. She's like, you have no idea. I would love to have a man in my life. I went to the egg fertility clinic.
I was
going to
say they're freezing their eggs. They're freezing their eggs, and they are buying giant dildos.
Yeah.
And here's the thing: to answer your question about the women past menopause, if you leave a woman alone long enough or in a position of leadership long enough, she turns into a man.
She's becoming the man that she wants to be with.
Yeah, she becomes the man, because women, we can't function without men. And I know y'all aren't gonna like that, but it's true. You're freezing your eggs. Why? So you can have children. You need a dick for that normally.
Yeah, that's just kind of how biology
Right?
works.
It's
ladies and
how it
gentlemen. Yeah.
works. Right? You're buying dildos. Why? So you can get an orgasm. Why? You normally need a dick for that. Correct?
Yeah.
And I'm reducing you to a dick just for extreme points, but you understand what I'm saying.
We get it.
So the premise that women can lead, that's not going to work, because then we're not going to have any more women on the planet. We already have an over-masculine population of women.
So this goes back to my point that a correction was needed. Women
Correct.
should have suffrage. They have the right to vote.
Correct.
A correction was
Absolutely.
needed. Women should be, in the workplace. They shouldn't be sexually harassed. They shouldn't, like the Mad Men, of the 50s.
Come on.
But now there's a need. Now there was an overcorrection.
Overcorrection.
And now there's like, this is what the red pill community is kind of like, ladies, let's revert
bring
back
them-
to our traditional roles.
Correct. Now, I think they go too far too. I'm going to be honest.
The red pill community?
I believe so.
Why?
Because they treat, some of them, it's like women's pleasure doesn't matter. Women's right don't matter. She should, and I do some stuff that are extreme because I know what people are going to click on.
Yeah.
But I believe a woman should be worshipped in a sense, like you're nurturing my child. You're like caring and nurturing for the future of our planet.
Mm-hmm.
And they don't give women enough credit for that. At the same time, women have fucked themselves literally when it comes to their bodies and sex. They should be more submissive to men sexually. If you're not fucking your husband several times a week and giving him blowjobs several times a week, you should be fired from the position. Men can't live without sex. Women can't live without presence, period.
Yeah. And I think I kind of agree with you that in that space, especially there's things like the MGTOW community. There's like, men go on their own way. You don't need a woman in your life. Let me tell you something. like I'm a people person. I don't collect a lot of material. I'm not a materialistic person. I like friends. I like hot chicks. Like that's just my thing. Like, let me tell you, you can give me cars, clothes, jewelry, anything, any sort of item, diamonds, gold watch, Rolex. Save all that shit. Give me a hot dope girl any day of the week. Netflix and chill you're talking about. That is so much better of a talking about time to spend with and appreciate that and have her appreciate me and Shiva and all that fun love and stuff. All that materialistic bullshit is nonsense compared to a genuine relationship.
Because you're craving the feminine energy.
I love that shit.
Because there's a part of you that is feminine too. And
I
you
don't know
need
about all
that.
that, you know, but okay.
It's a polarity. You have feminine energy and masculine. I have masculine and feminine. So when you meet
The sun and the moon.
yeah, it's Shiva Shakti. So your inner, masculine is attracted to my inner, vice versa. Your inner feminine is attracted to my inner masculine, and that's what creates that polarity component because you have both.
What do you mean you have both? So men have...
You have feminine energy in you. Your masculine energy is more dominant. You're alpha. We already established that. I have feminine energy in me. I'm actually really more feminine than you see me when I'm on camera. And I'm on camera, I'm more assertive. I'm more alpha. I'm more masculine because I want people to fucking pay attention and watch this shit, right?
Oh, they are.
Yeah. But if you see me in real life, like with the guys, I'm like, what can I do? Like I cook for them, I serve them. Like they're my husbands. They're not my fucking husbands.
Yeah.
I act like they are because I want to be in that role because I love being feminine. I love telling them, like the other night we were talking, Joel said something and he said, I said, you just set a boundary. He said, yeah. I said, that's hot. Do that more often.
Set a boundary. That's called holding frame, I believe. So
Yes.
why is that hot?
Because I want to be feminine. I want someone to tell me what to do. I don't want to lead. I don't want to make the decisions.
Really?
But do you think that comes from because I'm gonna give you some pushback because essentially you are in a leadership position. You're a mom. You have your own business.
Correct.
And you do all those things. So it's like, do you feel like you want that submissiveness more because you essentially are in a leadership role?
I do agree, probably more than the average woman. But the average woman don't want to be submissive because society has told them not to be. They've told them, you will lose your power if you do this. You run the world. You're supposed to be in charge. You don't need a man. You've got a sperm bank and a dildo. You're good. You're good. You're good.
Are ladies really buying that shit though?
Yes. Come on. You just said yourself. Look at
No,
in your
I know,
own
but like,
circle.
are they like, they're drinking the Kool-Aid, but like, for instance, I would do research.
Okay.
So for instance, I don't know if I want to get married like to the government one day, but I 100% want to have kids one day.
Yeah.
So I'm constantly asking my friends, so what's it like being a father? What are you able to do? What's the deal? What's it like it out there? Hey, all right, cool. Give me the good side of the bed. If you could do it all over again, would you be a dad? Dude, what's the worst about it? All right, like 2 kids, 3 kids. All right, how many is too many? I'm constantly asking my friends what that's like. Right?
Yeah.
Maybe I've spent how much time with you guys for the
Talking
past
about the
hour.
kids.
So you have a kid. How old are the kids? What are the difference? Like, I'm generally interested in that because I'm doing research,
Yes.
market research.
Correct.
Okay, I'm doing my due diligence. How are women, if you're 30 years old and you went to law school, whatever, pick a fucking career, I don't care.
Whatever.
How are you not going to a 45-year-old woman who's married and has been happily married, and how are you not going to a 45-year-old single woman and saying, hey, tell me what life is like?
They don't.
How do you not do that as a woman?
They don't care.
Do
You know
some
why?
research.
Look at what's going on the media. Most of my clients are in that demographics. They're women with careers. They have money. They have everything. And even on my pages, women say, I would rather delete myself than surrender to a man.
What does that even mean? Delete yourself.
Like you can't say the word.
Yeah.
To off yourself.
Yeah.
Oh,
exactly.
word.
They'd
Okay.
rather off themselves than surrender
Think
to a
about
worthy man.
how stupid that is.
But they've been
Do
told.
you rather not be in existence than
Correct.
have a man lead you?
Correct.
You know what that reminds me of? So Seinfeld had a bit, just to kind of lighten the mood here for a second. He said, you know what the number one fear of people, people's number one fear?
Public speaking.
Public speaking.
Yep.
And he said, you know what the number 2 fear is? Death.
Yep.
So he goes, all right, what does that actually mean? So that means at a funeral, you'd rather be the guy in the casket
Than the one
delivering the eulogy.
That's right.
How stupid is that?
That's right. And that's
Okay, I
where
don't care
women
how
are.
scared you are of public speaking. I'd rather be speaking and pee my pants in public than be the dead guy in the casket.
Yeah.
Ridiculous. So that's
Yeah.
what you're saying.
That's
A
what I'm
woman would
saying.
rather off herself than have a man lead.
That's right.
How
And-
backwards is that?
But that's. Go ahead.
I actually wanted to get your guys'
Yep.
opinion because I know you said that your wife is actually, she's been in a leadership role. She was leading children and cheerleading and stuff. So I wanted to kind of get your perspective on like women leading? Because I know you said that you found that attractive, right?
To a degree.
To a degree,
yeah.
to a degree, of course,
So,
of course.
Put your foot down now, dog.
Right?
Go ahead. Show them what you got.
He was saying like leadership, like talking about public office,
Yeah.
things like that. I'm not saying women are leading every day. Come on, they're leading their children. I'm talking about power positions and leadership positions where we could have detrimental things that happen to a society. We're responsible for men and things like that.
Pull up this list real quick,
Yeah.
Nat, and then I actually want to get you guys on the other side of this, get your thoughts on this.
Kamala. She
but,
looks like a man.
So if you go to
Sorry.
the world's
I'm
100
sorry,
most
she
powerful women, right? Forget about. I'm just saying, there's this list. You can go fast. You can fast. We just scroll down this list. It's all good.
You wanted
Don't
to
spend too
admit
much time on this. But for instance, as far as leadership and power positions, you have, Kamala Harris, Hillary Clinton,
Oprah.
Nancy Pelosi, and Angela Merkel in Germany. She was a chancellor of Germany. We're good on that list.
Oprah.
Oprah. Obviously, you have Sheryl Sandberg, Facebook. You've got Jeannie Rometty. She's the CEO of IBM. You've got these women in leadership positions. So, like, what would you say? And even like Trisha Griffith. She was the CEO of Progressive. These are women who are full on leading companies and doing well.
I'm sure.
Not to even get too political with Hillary or Kamala, whatever. But like these women, if they were on this panel, they would be like, check out my resume, mother.
I guarantee. I don't care about their resume. I guarantee their husband's a beta.
Ooh.
I
see
most
what
of
you're
those
saying
women,
here.
with all due respect, I would never say anything about Oprah. She's God to me. But most of those women look like fucking men. Because it happens that way. And I'm not saying that to hate on
this
women.
is the polarity
It's the
component.
polarity. They look like men. Go
You
up
said
to
that
the
they
top of
can
the
be
list.
leaders, but then their love life, they're dominating the men.
Absolutely. Look at Kamala. I'm so sorry. And Christine? That looks like Christian.
I mean, number one doesn't look like a man at all.
No,
looks
she
like a
didn't. No, do you notice I left?
You know who Mackenzie Scott
You
is, though,
notice
right?
I left
I
her.
don't.
That's
I left
Jeff
her off.
Bezos' ex-wife.
Yeah.
She's the richest woman in
Okay.
the world.
But that was by default more than anything.
Yes.
Let's be honest. And
Right.
I didn't say her for a reason.
Right.
Come on, look
Well,
at the.
let me ask you guys, without bringing your wife into it. You guys are in the military. What was the highest position of leadership from a woman that you experienced? Are there any female generals?
Oh, I'm so curious
So-
about that.
In my experience, yes, there are female
There are.
generals. I was going to say earlier that I have had two different females in my military career that were mentors to me. They were both E9s, sergeant majors, and they helped balance me out as a leader. They led through their feminine strength. They
Good.
weren't leading by trying to be or act like men. And that approach towards looking at people as individuals and taking care of them, like I was talking about as being a father as well, but that feminine nature of being more caring about your soldiers made a big impact on me as a leader, because most men that I've had as mentors or looked up to as mentors in the military lead typically through strength and discipline and all the other male attributes,
Yeah,
right? Which
of
are great,
course.
but that's not how you are an effective leader. You have to be a balanced person.
Correct.
And actually, to be an effective leader, you have to have the people underneath you believe that you care about them
You have
and
to
you're
have
looking out for their best
compassion.
interest. And
Yeah.
so the females that were the good ones that I've had experience with in the military made me a better leader. And that's why I wanted to interject earlier of like, not all women.
Not all. There's always exceptions.
Right. That is definitely, speaking in generalities, like I was going to say to Nat's question, my wife is a very balanced person.
I could see that.
And she doesn't have, like I said, doesn't have the highs, doesn't have the lows. Half time I joke about being married to a dude. But if you don't have those wild personality swings, and men have them too. It's
Men
not
do
just
too.
women. I've met tons of dudes that are mentally unstable, that are in a
yeah.
leadership role that should not be
I believe.
there.
I believe
Toxic
it. I believe
Yes,
it.
that's why most people get out of the military is toxic leadership,
Yeah.
which is from men
Yeah.
who treat people like dirt. And
But they're
I mean,
not
we've seen it.
leaders, though. They're not leaders because
They-
the strong character component of leadership is like, you have to have compassion. You have to lead by not telling them what to do, but by example, by caring enough and connecting with your subordinates or even the people under you or in your team, rather.
Yeah.
And that's the effective leadership. But most men won't lead that way. They're I'm the boss. You listen to me. You do what I say.
Right.
Would you so let's say there's a woman in top leadership. You're saying that women are very emotional. You're saying that they like, that's what you're saying. You're saying that they kind of have the feminine energy. Would you trust a woman with nuclear codes?
Exactly.
Would you?
No, I
You
saw
would
their
not?
body. Me? No.
Yeah.
And I saw their body language. He can say yes, but I saw no.
Really?
Yeah.
See, so it's interesting, right? Because Alex and I come from an era of the military that's different than it is today.
It's long gone.
So when we initially joined, male and females were separated. So we were both combat arms. So in the combat arms realm, there was no females. It was strictly male. So when we went and did all of our training and everything, it was male driven. Basic training was all male. There was no co-ed anything unless you did like a support role in the military. And then 2012-ish, 13-ish or so, they squashed that, and then they integrated females into the combat roles.
Wow.
And when I deployed, I had a female gunner in Iraq, and she was capable. She did a great job, right? I was comfortable and confident that she would have had my back in the event that anything had happened. But now saying that anybody can fit in that role is obviously
I just feel
not
like those are
honest.
the exceptions, not the rule.
I mean, but
Do
that
you know
goes
what
with
I'm
the male
saying?
too. Is I've had drivers and other people in the military that have served with me that I was like, I wouldn't trust you with anything, and that was a dude. So it's really hard. It's hard. I say pretty much with anything in life when it involves male and females is there's like a yin and yang.
There is.
There's
That's-
always that push and pull, and the other person's attributes should complement your weaknesses and vice versa.
Yeah,
Which is
these days the knock on the military is that like the military's gone woke. Pull up this picture of this helmet with like the multicolored military helmet and see if we can find that image with like the multicolored bullets.
Jane.
So, not to get all crazy political, but you guys have been in the military. Is that like the wrong place to be about equity and equality and wokeness? It's like, you think the Chinese are doing that? You think the Russians are doing that? I mean, granted, they're not doing so great in Ukraine right now. But if you can pull up military helmet with multicolored bullets, have you experienced, this whole thing? Like the
Wow.
LGBTQ XYZ proud to serve military? This is, as military guys, is this just taking it too far?
This is hilarious.
Well, we haven't seen this actually. This is the first time.
Never seen that?
We've seen this. It's funny, but I don't know what I can say and can't
Yeah.
say because
Don't get in trouble.
we're still in, right?
Oh,
But,
gotcha.
no, we don't think like the wokeness is necessarily the spot for the military. We think that the military says we're in the military. Everybody to our left and right has always been equal.
Yeah.
We don't see any color, we don't see any race or gender. We just want you to be able to do your job.
But I believe that's, I'm sorry, you guys have to say that because you're in. That's bullshit. There's no equality in men and women in the military. I'm sorry. No matter how hard we want to make it cool, we want to be woke, we want to treat men and women the same. We're not the fucking same.
But what about like
We're not just
gay
just-
men? Like, are they considered
They're-
still leadership roles, even though they
They're
have more
they're
of a
more
feminine
feminine.
side?
They're more feminine. No, they joined that other team.
So you think that? Do you think gay people should not be in the military?
Don't make me go there. Don't make me go there. All I'm going to say is that women are not the same as men in the military. They're not strong. They're fit. Let's just take physical stature. Yes, I know there's women who buff up and do all that. They are rare, and you guys know what I'm saying is true. You don't have to agree. You don't have to say it, but you know what I'm saying is true. If you're on the front lines, and we have to get men out of there quickly, who is going to be more capable of lifting men and taking them out? Me, or you,
Or a
or
gay
you,
guy?
or a gay guy? You said it. You're on that.
I mean, I'm
ticket.
curious because it's like if you're considered part of that community, your feminine side is more on the higher rank. So that would kind of affect maybe their decisions as well.
Correct. No, they're more feminine.
asking.
You're saying it, so I'm agreeing with you.
Okay, I know,
But
I'm
I
trusting.
already get enough hate anyway. But if I get on this
just
demographic,
curious.
they're gonna hate me even more. But it's true. Yeah, they went to the feminine side, so they're technically feminine. And we're trying to say everyone's equal, but it's not true. At the end of the day, women want equal rights, but then they don't want to live up to it. For instance, let me give you this example. In the state of Texas, there's more women CEOs than anywhere else in the U.S. Did you know that?
State
Say
of
that
Texas.
again?
More
State of
females.
Texas,
Okay.
there's more CEOs, female CEOs, than anywhere else in the U.S. I don't know about the world, but in the U.S. Now, here's where the feminist law doesn't work, right, in their favor. These women are, Fortune 500 companies killing it, making money, right? They get married, right? Get married to beta male husband. Everything's going great. Then they get divorced. Such a sad day. And what happens? Hubby, beta male, says, I want half. I want half. And alpha women, They don't want to give it. I'm the woman. I don't need to give you half. Oh, you don't like those rules now. I thought we were equal. See, it never works out. Women want equality when it suits them. I pay the bill, or you pay the bill when we go out. All these types of scenarios. When there's an invasion, you take the lead. You protect us. I want to be in the military so I can have rights, but when we're on the combat line, you're more qualified to pull people out than I am.
It's actually a perfect segue to the next conversation I want to have, which is a little more money driven. So, talking about being the financial provider and like traditional roles have changed. How women want a traditional man, but there's not a lot of traditional women. So pull up this article right here. So like it has to do with basically being the provider. So the man is still seen as the financial provider, okay, in the household. That's not even a close. I get that women are becoming CEOs and they're making money, and that's great and that's awesome. But don't get it twisted. The man is still expected to bring home the bacon, okay? And according to these stats right here, so 70% of adults say that for a man to be considered a good husband, it is very important for him to support his family financially. But on the other hand, only 30% say that a woman, to be considered a good wife, it is very important for her to support her family financially. So clearly there's different traditional gender roles. Gender roles still exist. They're still intact. Despite like everything that's kind of happening in society today, the man still needs to meet a man and bring home the bacon, and the woman still can be the nurturing type. So, but back to my different rules, this is sort of the problem that I see happening right now. Women want, for the most part, traditional alpha men. The guy that, takes care of things and makes them feel safe and secure and makes money. Traditional alpha roles. So that's what they want from men. But modern women are not traditional anymore.
Not even
They
close.
want to make money. They want to do their own thing. They don't want to rely on a man. So a lot of women today, like more women are going to college now. More women are valedictorians. So they're making more money. Based on the rules of hypergamy, the higher and higher and higher they go up the socioeconomic chart, the less of a pool they have for men to date.
That's right.
So it's kind of like you're digging your own grave. And back to your point, this is why 80% of women only want the top 20% of men. And it's sort of slim pickings for these women. So on one hand, I totally understand why a woman would want to improve.
Absolutely.
And not want to rely on a man. But it's kind of like, be careful what you wish for.
Yeah.
Right?
Because then you're going to be home with the cats, the dildo, and the sperm bank.
Cats and the dildo and the sperm bank. So here's some interesting stats right now. But based on this, and this is where I want to kind of get the guys to weigh in, because you guys are financial experts. Well, at least you make a lot of financial content out there. 70% of adults we just talked about, in order for a man to be a good husband, they want him to be able to support his family. It doesn't work that way with women. That's the second thing right there. Here's what's interesting, though. It says this is a percentage of adults saying it is very important for a man and a woman to have each of these traits. So very important. So for a husband is in green, or a partner, boyfriend, what have you, and a woman is in yellow. Okay. Mm-hmm. So to be caring and passionate, 90% of women want their man to be caring and passionate. 86% of men want their partner to be caring and passionate. That was actually a weird stat for me.
It's crazy.
How is that not 100% for women?
Well,
how are women not like, how are 100% not agreeing to that?
This is a pipe dream, though. You want to be caring and compassionate. And I'm not saying, like, don't be concerned with your wife's needs, but these are beta qualities. You want a man to provide for you and be a woman. Caring and compassionate. I understand.
You don't want that from a man?
Not like in leadership. Yeah, you have to have that to connect. But I think that these are...
Well, didn't you just say that you wanted somebody to like pay
Present.
attention to you and be present?
Present.
Isn't that part of being caring? Is having presence?
I wouldn't use that adjective.
I mean, I'm not talking like making her your queen, right? Because then you're worshiping somebody and you're putting them above you.
Yeah, but
like the caring aspect with kids or with a wife or significant other.
I don't know. I feel like I understand what you're saying. I want a man to care about his purpose and not to be hung up on me. Like he chose me because he knows I'm going to be cool and I'm going to take care of the kids and I'm going to take care of him and nurture him. I'm supposed to be caring and compassionate. I'm the woman. I want to be afraid of my man. I want to know that my man can go out there and rip an animal to shreds if he needs to. He's going to protect me.
What do you mean afraid of your man?
Like, I want to be afraid of him, scared of him. Because if he needs to protect me in the end, I don't want a caring, compassionate man who makes a lot of money to take care of me. No. I want a man that's a beast. That's like when I'm like, shit, man, there's someone out there. He's like, bet, I'm on it.
I got this.
I got this.
But
and
isn't
that's
there
not a
cons to that? Like they just can cut off that whole side of the compassionate and the caring
Well,
side.
a good woman knows how to bring that out of her man. She's feminine enough. She used her feminine powers to bring that out when it's necessary. But that's not that is not anywhere on my fucking vision board. I want my man to be caring and passionate. They can go fuck themselves with that one. That's hilarious
But
to me.
that's for you, Jennelle, and you're a different breed. We know that. But 90% of women do want that.
But that, I think
More than the 71% of being.
But look at marriages. It's a coin toss. Heads or tails, it's going to work.
What about the warrior in a garden thing? You know,
That's
like,
what. But
he
that's
can-
what.
What's the warrior in a
He
garden?
can flip.
Yeah.
You know, just like the overall thing, like capable of doing the protecting, but also
But
being
still-
able to be compassionate when needed.
Correct. But
And you're
but
controlled enough to be compassionate.
Correct.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying don't have it, but that is certainly shouldn't. I don't think that should be at the top of the list. I think it should be protector, fiercely protecting and fiercely fucking present.
Okay, so that goes to something I've always believed. Just as a man, the attributes that attract women always comes down to two things. Can you provide for me?
That's
and
right.
can you protect me?
Correct.
If you don't have those two qualities, I don't think that most women are attracted to those men.
That's right. It's not can you love me enough? Can you be kind enough and caring enough? I don't give a fuck about that. I don't want to sleep next to that.
Well, if you were to reword that, I mean, maybe somebody didn't understand like the being
Provider,
presence.
protector.
Right. But like that being caring and compassionate, if you could replace that with
I'd
like
say presence.
That's probably
and
what those people
presence
probably
and provider
were
or
thinking.
protector. Protector.
What's in what order?
Presence number one, and then protector.
Presence,
Maybe protector, presence. Yeah, I said.
protector, provider.
Yeah.
Those are the big things.
Yeah. All the P's.
Yeah.
It's
and
funny.
the penis.
I just got some good content. Thanks for
The
that.
Something-
presence, protector, provider.
Provider. Yes.
So crazy because dude, okay, I was dating this girl for a long time. Not the one that the British
the
girl,
British
another
chick.
girl. We're out at a club one time, and as far as being provider, taking care of it, and I'm not like, as far as protector, she was all good.
She was good.
We're at a club called Live in South Beach, right? This is the number
I've
one
heard
club.
of this
yeah,
club.
It's like number
I've-
one club
I've heard of
in all
this.
of Miami, possibly the world. And we're in a jam-packed club. I'm talking like there's an area in Live, if you've ever been, it's called the Cluster. It's like the VIP. If you get in there, it's like carte blanche, whatever you want, you're good to go. And we're in this, like, I'm talking sardine type shit. Like, I'm so avoid that at this point. And apparently, I didn't even know this, but while we're in this little area, some big dude was like kind of walking by, grabs her ass, and keeps it moving. And I'm in sardine mode, right? And she's like, babe, did you just see that? And I'm like, no, what? She's like, that guy. And he's like, now he's
Gone.
kind of moving that way, right? And she's like, you see that guy over there? Big dude, big black dude, actually. She's like, he grabbed my ass. And I was like, what the fuck? What was that all about? She's like, I don't know. She's like, go fucking say something to him. And I'm like, what? Like,
I can't get
okay,
there.
I can't even move.
Yeah. Like
Okay,
how
I
I
can't even move. I'm like, all right, so I'm actually trying to like rationalize right now. I didn't see it. I don't understand what's happening. Right? She's upset. I'm annoyed. It's like we're in the middle of a club. It's just the most annoying situation. She's like, go find him and fucking kick his ass. This guy's 6'6", like a big ass dude. So I'm in this situation where I could literally barely move. My girl's upset. I'm annoyed. I gotta go kick some dude's ass right now. He has no clue who I am. And when I tell you, like, by the time I even tried to make it out of the VIP, there's fucking thousands of people in this club. This guy is gone.
Gone, yeah.
Okay, I, like, attempted to go. Like, I don't know what I was even trying to do. I come back, and she's like, what happened? I was like, dude, babe, I could not even move. She's like, I'm so fucking mad at you right now. I'm like, why are you mad at me?
Because you didn't protect her in her mind.
But in her mind,
Well,
right?
Yeah. Same.
And that's like, it's like, what? There's nothing I could have done. And to the last thing,
Yeah.
we'd be fighting about something 6 months later. She's like, and that's why the time at the club. I'm like,
Oh my
I'm like, how is this happening
She's
right
never
now?
gonna forget that
It's
because
like
you didn't
you ever
protect
hear
her.
the stories about the girl that wakes up in the middle of the night and she's sleeping next to her dude and she just slaps him and you're just like, what the hell happened? She's like,
That
I
was
dreamed
for-
that you cheated on me.
Yeah.
Like, I'm fucking sleeping over here. That's that kind of concept.
Yes.
So you need to be present.
Yeah.
You need to be the provider,
And you
But
got to
this
protect.
protector thing
It's
is
huge.
a big deal for chicks.
It's
It's
huge.
true.
That
Even
happened.
if it's unreasonable.
That
I had an
happens-
opposite story where
was gonna
someone
tell
like
it.
reached, like they try to like grab me. Well, they did grab me, and the guy I was dating, I was like, "Yo, he just grabbed me," and it was like this big black
Yeah.
guy, and he took his drink and because he took his drink and he threw it, and the guy came back and they started like ruffling. It was like this whole mess, and they kicked us out the club. Like
Yeah.
it was this whole big thing. But at the end, I appreciated
The
like
gesture.
him, even though like. If you want to be honest, I don't think he could have taken that guy.
But he
10 times aside.
tried.
But I could appreciate
tried.
that,
Okay.
like, I will get effed up because
Well-
he just
But
crossed
are
the
you
line,
with
my
that
girl.
guy still?
No.
No,
you're
well,
not.
here's
So here's
no,
this
no.
dude, he's not even with her, caught an ass whoop, and you got kicked out of the club.
well here's
So,
a
like,
better story.
as
The
a
real-
rational guy, by the way,
yeah.
like,
But it was appreciated.
no, I get it. But as a rational guy, I'm thinking, like, in the moment, I can barely move. This guy's 6'6", fucking huge dude. Like, what am I gonna chase him down?
Chase him down.
Probably didn't even know it was my girl. She had a nice ass. No, not gonna lie. Shout out to your booty, baby. But like, here I'm like, I'm gonna get thrown out of the club. I'm gonna fight this guy. It's like, I'm sorry,
You're
babe,
just
but
like
like
the
if that
risk-
happens, like if we're at a dinner one time, like I'm gonna fuck that guy up.
Yeah.
But in the middle of a club, like,
Well, that
there's the
happens-
rational
Yeah.
male side of things.
There's
as
a
well.
rational and then
Go
there's
ahead.
this savage. So the same thing
Yeah.
happened. We were in a
Yeah.
club in Vegas. A guy comes by, grabs my ass. The guy tossed his drink and just knocked him, and the guy was unconscious for a hot minute. They pulled him into the back of the club, and he stayed back there for the rest of the night, not moving.
So when okay, and that was a turn on. I
It's
assume.
very dangerous, though. People can pull out a gun today and be
I mean,
like,
Right, that's
it is-
another
it
that's
is
whole
why,
thing.
like,
It
that's
is
why I was
dangerous.
upset.
Well,
with
here's
that.
here's what I say, and this is like just to kind of do this, and we've got like 5-10 minutes left, and we'll wrap this thing up. I've always said this: if I'm gonna get in a fight, a full-on fight, it's gonna be somebody I know.
Yeah.
What do I mean by that?
Yeah.
It's gonna be somebody I have a relationship with. We've done business, we're friends, whatever, and you've done something. You were a line stepper. You overstepped some boundaries.
Violated
Now I gotta
trust.
fuck you up.
Yeah.
Some random dude at a club that steps on my shoe. Like, you see these things. Yo, you
Yeah.
stepped on my shoe. Now we got to fight. It's like,
No.
dude, if I don't know you, if I don't know your name, I'm not trying to get involved in any sort of skirmish with you.
I get it.
Like, that's just how I operate.
Yeah.
So, like, do women understand that, though?
I think women think emotionally.
Yes.
He grabbed my ass. You should do something.
Right.
So they want that, and it's a turn on to us, just like you guys like to see it from the back, and that's how you come mostly.
Well, essentially, I
It's a
told
turn-
him not
it's a turn
to
on
because
for
I was-
you.
Essentially, I told him like, no, like leave him. Like you don't know what he's gonna do because
Right.
you really don't know
don't
what they're
know
gonna
what
do. And like it took like a day after for me to be like, I appreciated at least a gesture of trying to like protect me in this
Yeah.
space. But at first, I was pissed at him. I was like, "You put me in danger. Like you're gonna fight this man, and you don't know this guy. Like, so it's like you also have to consider like different aspects,
Yes.
setting and stuff like that. But yeah, I mean, I appreciated it long term wise, but I only appreciate it because something happened. If
Yeah,
something were to happen,
he was
I
like-
would have not I would have been like, I was right. I told you to leave him alone.
But that's a
Gladiator. That's like a Spartan, a gladiator, a savage man.
Yeah.
It just goes for it. We don't have men like that anymore.
No, I agree.
And I love that
so
shit.
There needs to be that balance.
Yeah.
As far as being present with that exercise we did, especially with these guys, Alex and Philip, they had their moment.
We had a moment.
We all had a moment.
We had
right?
a moment.
Okay. Fully understand that.
Yes.
Okay. Being the provider.
Absolutely.
Okay. Being the protector, I fully understand. But does being the protector mean you need to be just ready to fist fight somebody?
Would you
Or are there
ask-
different levels of
Let
being
me
the
ask
protector?
you this question:
Yeah.
If you loved a woman,
Yeah.
you've loved a woman. You have the British
Many
chick,
times.
a few.
Yes.
Would you die for her?
No.
There you go. I've had a man look me in the eyes and say he would die for me.
Yeah. Are you with him?
He's in the green room.
Oh, okay.
It changes you.
Yeah.
If you have a man that says that to you and you believe it, that's some shit. Like, how am I going to compare to that? Am I going to find another guy that's going to...
Yeah, well, that's some romantic fucking
No,
Beauty and
that's
the
some...
Beast
No,
shit.
no, no.
Like, I'm just saying, most
that's
men...
some Shiva shit.
Okay.
That's some Shiva shit. That's what I teach.
All right.
Check me out.
All right. Would you die for your wife?
He
Absolutely.
would.
You would. Your
Yeah.
wife.
Yes.
Would you die for your
Would you die
girlfriend?
for one of the
I'm
hosts?
single.
Right. If you had a, if you had a girlfriend.
One of the hosts?
chance.
I mean, girlfriend, maybe not. Probably not.
He
Right.
said no.
Of
He
course
said
you
that-
shouldn't.
He said that's a
You
hard
don't owe her
pass.
nothing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. It depends on where you're at. Anyway, but as far as being the protector, other than fist fighting, in this like macho sense, what other elements of being a protector are there?
I think that's the main aspect, but I think just, protecting like her, the family, the kids, making sure like her reputation, like everything about her is straight. It's just like, this is my woman. If anyone steps to her, anyone, I'm not even physically, like I'm going to defend her name.
100%.
Right? I'm gonna
and that's
defend
where I was
her
going
honor.
with this.
Yeah.
Because that same girl, okay, that same girl that I didn't go fist fight the fucking 6'6" black guy in the
Why
club,
not?
like, and I couldn't find, like, that whole scenario, which was like so absurd, and like, did he even grab her ass, or was it that tight of a club? Like, okay, so that's the physical fighting side of things. But that same girl, she was a model. She did a modeling gig, and a company owed her $2,500, and they just kind of disrespected her, and they weren't paying her. But who showed up to the modeling agency and was like, knock, knock, motherfuckers. You know this girl that I'm with right here? Here's a picture. Yeah, you owe her money, bro.
That's right.
So you don't want any problems.
That's protecting.
Okay? You don't want any problems with her. You certainly don't want any problems with me. By the way, I've been in Miami my whole life. Whatever you're doing right here, whatever operation you're running, I'll shut this shit down real quick. One phone call. Is that protecting?
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
1,000%.
I would
You're
take that.
protecting her
Okay,
honor.
that's my point. There's different levels of
There's
protecting.
different levels of protection.
Okay.
Correct.
Let me
Well,
just
that's the
dust my
next one,
shoulder
too.
off real quick. What's
So
that?
protecting
Dust your
people,
shoulder.
protecting your family financially.
Yes.
Right. That's
Yeah,
another layer of protection.
Yes.
Correct.
If you can't do that,
Contribute
Right,
to
that's-
household chores. That one's hilarious.
Yeah, I'm good on that.
But like,
Come
if
on,
you can't
hire
do
a
that,
maid.
if
Yeah.
you don't have good finances, that's one of the main reasons people get divorced.
Yeah.
Right. And
Yeah.
and that's another thing that, like, I mean, I've watched your show quite a bit, and you talk about like high value men. Well, most people, not just men, and that's where our channel comes in, is we try to bridge the gap, because what you don't learn in high school, you have to learn in real life. And if nobody's teaching it to you,
Right.
that's where all these people
School
are
of
struggling.
hard knocks.
And maybe they go to college because they think that that's like that used to be the way you would be successful, but it's not guaranteed
It's not
success by
anymore.
any means. And for most people, it's more financial struggle and hardship because of the student loans they have to take out. But you want to be able to provide for a family financially and be that single income household. But most households can't get
They're
by
not.
on a
They need
single
dual
income.
They need dual today.
Especially now, because everything's so much more expensive. Well, if you don't have people that are help coaching you to get to that point, then how do you become that high value man?
That's true.
When most people are just,
That 80% of the women are fucking.
well, yeah. I mean, you'd be a high value more than just finances.
Yeah.
But if you're trying to provide for a family financially, like on the screen, then it takes time. It takes a lot of effort for a lot of people, whether you're going to go to a trade school or college or be an entrepreneur. It doesn't happen overnight. And I think that's where a lot of bad standards are set, right? So you get a male who's 22 or 23, and I see some of these videos on YouTube where women are like, oh yeah, I want a man that makes at
100
least
grand,
at least
or
100 grand, 200 grand. I'm like, do you
Do
know
you
many
even
men
know-
that are 22 or 24 that make 100 grand?
I do. They're in the dressing room.
Yeah, but not many.
But not
They are
many.
the
Why do you think
small
I roll
percentage
with
of an
them?
exception.
That's
So,
right.
Well, you know what percentage of men make over 100 grand?
It's
Just men in general.
maybe
What?
5%?
like
15%.
It's 15. I was going to say 10
And
to
then
15.
what percentage of men under 30?
Oh, I guess that's
Oh,
what I was
it's
thinking.
small.
Yeah,
These
it's smaller
guys
than
are
that.
these
Right.
guys are in that, but it's small.
but
as
that's
fuck.
that's essentially, this goes back to the entire premise of why we do the show, what we talked about in, like, pull up the whole socio-sexual hierarchy thing, Nat, that whole thing about the concept of self-improvement. So I believe in 3 principles of life. This is me, take it or leave it. I believe in health, wealth, and happiness. And I'm constantly doing the 1 through 10 test. Where's my health today? Well, I didn't get a lot of sleep this week. I'm probably at like an 8.5. I probably haven't worked out enough as I should be. I'm still good. I kind of have abs, but they could be better. I do my blood work. I'm at an 8.5. If I don't party this weekend, I'll be a 9, and I'm working on a 10. Health, check, good. Wealth, cool. Probably at a 9. Life's good, but there's another level. Like, I'm
That's
not on
right.
PBD level yet. I've got, those zeros in the bank, but he's got a couple extra zeros. So I'm not at 10 yet, but I'm at a 9. Life's good. Happiness. That's something that, especially with relationships, I'm like,
ebbs and flows.
I've been in like 6 through 10 mode over the last couple of years, right? I've never dipped below that. But that's something, and happiness, I believe, is that it's when are you fulfilling your meaning and purpose in your life.
Purpose.
So I'm on that grind. But the point is this: if you're 21 years old and you're watching the show, what can you have? You can have health. You can have a 10. You can be 21. You're in the gym every day. You're in college. Yo, life's good. Health, appreciate it. That's number one thing. Wealth, you could be at a fucking 2. Be broke as shit in student loans. At 26, I was broke living on people's couches. 35, I'm a millionaire. I got NBA players crash with me. Life can change real quick. You get your life together.
Absolutely.
And then as far as happiness, everyone talks about happiness and they want happiness. You know, happiness comes from are you fulfilling your purpose and are you on your purpose? Right. So that's something. So this whole thing, what was the whole thing? Delta, that they don't believe in self-improvement. If there's one thing you could take from this show, you got to believe in self-improvement.
Yes.
Okay, whether you're a man or a woman, 100%. Like everything that you're saying, like, well, 5% of men under 40 don't make $100,000. Okay.
Yeah.
Work your way up.
Well, and progress equals happiness. You're not going to get there overnight. So every day you do a little more, you get a little better, you feel a little happier.
Well, and happiness is a choice too. You can have all the things in the world, everything you were just talking about.
Yeah.
You can be 10s across the board, and if you don't appreciate it, then you're not happy.
That's the meaning you've
100%.
created around it.
Yeah.
Your definition.
Yeah. I say like be intentional. This is the easiest and most like generic thing that I can tell anybody all the time is like just be intentional. If you're going to do this, do it for a reason and be intentional with that. If you want to live that life that you want to live, be intentional and make sure that whatever it is that you're doing helps you get to that tip of the triangle to get you to where you want to be. Because if you're not intentional and you're just kind of floating around, you're not going to make it where you want to go.
Awesome. Love that. All right. We're now wrapping up. You guys you're still going to have a second to chat. Nat, let's go.
Yes.
Take us home. You got some super chats. You got some comments.
Yes.
What you got for us?
Super chats. Someone wanted to ask you, do you know who Simon Levy is? That guy who did like the...
I know who he is.
Yeah,
the
he
shows,
did.
the funny shows.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
he did...
No?
He like scammed a whole bunch of girls on like Tinder.
Oh, yes.
Right.
Yeah.
Where would they want to know? Where would you rank
Oh,
him? Where would you
he's-
rank this guy?
I'd say he's
I don't know
down
what
in
he looks
the-
like. I don't know what his
I
deal
don't know what
is.
it looks like, but I remember that story. I would
Yeah,
say the
Is this the Tinder swindler?
Yes,
Yeah,
the Tinder
yeah, yeah,
swindler.
yeah.
Oh,
Tinder
yeah. I
swindler.
mean, he's a
It was-
scumbag,
it was just
but he's a
the-
good-looking scumbag, I
So
assume.
where would you rate him?
Well, he's clearly either an alpha or a single. Like we talked about with Trump, love him or hate him, he's an alpha.
Okay.
So you could be utilizing these alpha type skills for good or for bad,
yes.
right?
Yes.
That guy was obviously doing it for bad,
Yeah.
but he obviously presented. He was obviously charismatic. He was obviously attractive. He was obviously confident. He was obviously, he pretended to be successful.
Yeah.
So scam artists, a lot of them are alphas, right? But they're using their powers for bad, not for good.
That's right.
Ooh,
Anyway.
I didn't know you can do that. Good to
Oh,
know
I'm about to
that.
find out, girl.
Then we have our next one by Austin. Thank you, Austin, for the super chat. He actually has a really great question. He says, what's the best way to get into sales? I'm 25 years old, blue collar worker, and want to change my career. Any books, seminars, or whatnot you can recommend? The Vault. Okay, we have our
Okay,
business
number
planning
one,
workshop.
I answer questions like this all day long on our app called Minect. So you can Minect, aka connect by the minute with me there. But I was very clear on this. If you're not a doctor, a lawyer, engineer, a high-paying job, get into sales, bro.
Sales.
You can make a lot of money. I made millions over the last decade just because I have the gift of gab and I'm talking and networking. But the key to sales is you can't be a scumbag. You will get exposed. You actually have to deliver. You actually have to, can't just, talk the talk. You actually have to walk the walk. So back in the day, I used to watch all those movies, Boiler Room and Wolf of Wall Street and all that stuff, Wall Street. And they used to tell you what you wanted to hear. Sales is asking questions. And by the way, same thing with women. You're not going to, hey, baby, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this. You ask them. You be present. You ask questions. That's
right.
selling. All right.
And
So
then-
there's a book called QBS, Question-Based Selling. You can check that out. How to Win Friends and Influence People is also another
that
good
book.
book. Any other super chats?
Yes, we've got one more chat. I'm a little shy to read it because it's about me from Deja the Charger. Thank you. 28-year-old Tucker from New York. And I don't mean to dump, but Natalia is doing amazing. Thank you. I
We already know
appreciate
that,
you.
bro. Thank you.
I have to read the chats. If you roast
Okay.
me if I don't read it. So I'm reading it for you
Take
guys.
us off.
Okay.
Where we at? Sign, subscribe, all that fun
Yes,
stuff.
make sure you guys like, comment, and share. We're almost at 100,000 subscribers, so make sure you guys
Yes.
subscribe. Share the channel with your auntie, your uncle, your baby mamas, your moms, all of those people.
Your wife and your girlfriend.
Your wives
You're
and
good.
your girlfriends. Get us to 100K and take us home. Take
Thank
us
you.
home.
All right. So this is the part of the show that we call the happy ending.
Yay.
Our boys are here from Adulting Shouldn't Suck
Yes.
and Doesn't Suck that I was calling at the beginning. So Alex, you have a camera. You go ahead. You go first. Philip went first the last time. There's a camera right there. What should we know? What do you want to be known for? Where should people find you? Go ahead.
So we have a YouTube channel, Adulting Shouldn't Suck. That's our main platform. If you want to know about moving out, trade skills, military, or money, and you're in that like 16 to 25 demographic and you're trying to figure out how to connect all the dots to be successful to get to that next level, to where you're taking advantage of these different higher level concepts on like the PVD podcast and stuff that we talk about here, or you talk about here, or investing or those higher level things that can push you to the next level, we bridge that gap. And then on top of that, we created a high school financial curriculum that we're about to roll out at the beginning of the year that teaches everything and takes it beyond that, from banking, budgeting, how to build credit, debt, investing, taxes and income, all the base level stuff you need to know.
Wow.
But what makes it different than everybody else's is that we don't just teach it, we teach you how to implement it. And by the end of the course, you have a full financial system ready and operating by the time you graduate from high school. So you actually meet the real world ready.
I love it.
Awesome, dude. All right, Philip, go ahead, lay it on him.
Just to close on what Alex was saying, check out our YouTube, our social medias. Adulting Shouldn't Suck. This is where you guys are going to get your foundational knowledge for you guys to be able to get into that adulthood life that you guys want financially, so you guys can live the life that you guys always wanted to live when you guys were kids. Again, Adulting Shouldn't Suck. Check out that course. It should be done by the end of the year. It's going to be great. And then if you guys ever need to get a hold of us, we are the ones that respond to our YouTube comments and our social media comments. So make sure you guys chat us up, and then we will see you guys again in the future.
Awesome. And real quick, before we get to Jennelle, and because she is a veteran, happy Veterans Day. Shout out to the veterans
Shout
out
out
there.
to
We
you
brought these
guys.
veterans in here for a reason, because we were intentional with what we're doing over here. So
appreciate
God bless
you.
America. Thank you for your service. We appreciate that. The lovely Jennelle Gordan, take us home. The hottest veteran on the planet.
Thanks so much, y'all, for letting me, poke fun with y'all. Hopefully,
Oh,
I hope
absolutely.
we're so good.
No, we love it.
Okay,
Yeah.
good. So if you're, struggling with intimacy, relationships, and sex, you're not getting enough blowjobs, you can't attract a high-value woman, you feel empty after sex, then you got to check me out. I'm looking at the wrong camera.
Yeah, go ahead.
We'll start over. So if you're struggling with intimacy, relationships, and sex, you're not getting enough blowjobs, you're maybe empty after you have sex, you feel that void, or you're just struggling to attract a high-value woman, then you got to check me out on YouTube, Jennelle Gordan. I'm almost to 10K. I've got a course coming out, how to attract a high-value woman. The guys in the back help me with it. It's going to be lit. And yeah, remember, presence over penis any day of the week.
Presence over penis. All right, I got to remember that this weekend. You know what I'm saying? Lady, you got two options. We're going to go out. You can have option A, or you can have option B. Take your pick. And I'll give you some of that presence. Anyway, we do this, guys, for you every single week, every Thursday and Friday. Tomorrow we'll be back here. It'll be a wild and wacky
gonna be
show with these
crazy.
two girls and one blunt.
Yes.
You guys, I don't know if you want a part of that show. It'll be an interesting thing. But again, shout out to the veterans out there. Thank you guys for coming on. Thank you for your service. Thank you for your service. Thank you for your BJ service for all the men out there. The men appreciate you advocating
I'm
for the
trying,
women
y'all.
is what
I'm
is what
trying.
I'm saying out there. Gentlemen, keep working on yourselves. Keep improving yourselves. Keep working on your status. Save that money. You know that. And we'll see you guys next time here on the Soscast, only on Valuetainment. Peace out.
Bye.
I couldn't not yet. Wow. Okay.